tomorrow moves.
We want to talk right down to earth in a language that everybody here can easily understand.
And now it's time for the voice.
Don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
I want you to get up right now.
Go to the window,
Open it.
stick your head out and yell,
Hated man! Top of the world!
The voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin.
You know I don't speak Spanish. In English, please.
Look in my eyes, what do you see? The cult of personality. I know your anger, I know your dreams. I've been anything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality. Like no celebrity.
Hello, welcome to a Tuesday edition of The Voice of Ocala. I'm Buddy Martin. Delighted to be back with you here again for another program, as we are every weekday from 3 to 6. From 3 to 5, it's all about the community, and from 5 to 6, it's all about sports. Today on the show, we'll be talking to Angie Lewis, her regularly scheduled slot, today at 4:50. I believe she's got her Good Neighbor Award today. I don't want to give it away, but I believe she does today. And also, the Mayor, Kent Gwynn, will be dropping by momentarily. A nice conversation with the mayor this morning over coffee about some of the exciting things happening in our city. And around sports time, we've got our buddy Tom James, or the half of the Tom Tom team, coming in to talk a little bit about what's happening in the world of sports around the water cooler. And, of course, tonight's a big night for Dave Pingalore, his best friend, Dwight Howard, returning to Orlando, as we saw today on ESPN and the story that's going on there. So it's a busy day. All that, plus we get Tom Schmitz and J.J. LaSalva and Sean, our intern. Sean Down Goes Frazier. I guess that'll be his name from now on. So that's what's happening. So glad to have you with us. I want to get to the stuff right away because it's a busy, jam-packed first hour with the mayor coming in. And guess who else is in the house? The Trivia-nator.
He certainly is.
So get your question tuned up, ready to go, because we're going to we'll be interrupted a little bit by the mayor, and then we'll pick it back up at 3:30. But you can get a little tease going there while I tell them about what else is happening today on the show. National news, the kind of national news you don't like to be able to have to talk about it. 6-month-old baby shot 5 times in Chicago. How disgusting is it getting with the gun violence, especially in Chicago? It's just the kind of story that makes you sick at your stomach. Then here's one that really makes you sick at your stomach. The 6 kids who died in that speeding accident in the SUV, the
Right.
SUV was stolen.
Yeah, they had stolen the SUV.
Yeah, that's what I said. The SUV was stolen. So the Honda Passport driven by a 19-year-old girl, Alexis Kaysen, was registered to 33-year-old Marquise A. Stevenson of Youngstown, 20 miles away, but apparently no connection to the two, and they've said there was a file on file was a stolen vehicle report. So apparently that's even adds further to the drama. And they were going around of all things a place known as Dead Man's Curve, just like the movies we saw and teenage kids and stuff, and apparently lost it, and of course went in the ocean, the water, in the lake, and 6 of them died. So terrible story. Bad story you have to deal with today, but it's what it is. Meanwhile, there's smoke in Vatican City, but so far it's just regular smoke,
Yeah,
right?
It's not white smoke.
It's regular old smoke. In fact, I heard him talking about the fact that they have a hard time distinguishing exactly what color it is because of the gray sky and stuff, but we know it's there, and I've got a little information. I dug up some Pope analytics today, which is like how old is he likely to be, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I know there's many stories about
Under 80.
Well, we'll see. I'll tell you about that.
He
in a
has
minute,
to be
but,
under 80.
Yeah, well, yeah. The ages are likely to be what the age span is, and we only got 11 people from the United States voting in this deal. So we'll tell you about that. We'll break all the Pope stuff down. How about that? Breaking down the Pope stuff. In the sports department, Notre Dame's all set to go now. Played the Big East, everything except football. Our friend Tim Ryan, Coach of the Year. How good is Tim Ryan? We're going to talk about that on Around the Water Cooler Nice win. Nice double for Tim and his team wins the state, and now about to play in Hutchinson in about 10 days. So that'll be coming up in the Sports Hour, so stay tuned for all that. And, Tom, I think it's appropriate, by the way, before we go to trivia, Nader, I think we should probably welcome in a new sponsor we're going to be hearing from soon. We're really excited about this.
We really are.
Partner, good name in this town, a person whose firm is well-known, and one which has jumped into the Ask the Cops program, which they believe in, and we appreciate it very much because we think it's really one of the highlights of our week when we do it every other week.
Ask the Cops and Dr. Buddy, two biggest shows to take to the airwaves
I don't know about Dr.
last
Buddy.
year.
I don't know about
What do you
Dr.
think,
Ask the
JJ?
Cops. I think Ask the Cops is
Well, my favorite is Dr. Buddy.
I know.
Ooh, wow. Well, we need to go find a sponsor for it then, don't we?
We do.
But good relationship you developed there for us. Tell us who the sponsor is, and you'll be hearing their name mentioned every time we mention Ask the Cops now because they're the title sponsor.
You will be hearing Daniel Hightower, attorney at law,
How about that?
sponsor of Ask the Cops.
Terrific. Dan Hightower is really known as well in this community. He's obviously a community leader, and he's been around here a long time, and he's been involved in a lot of things, and we're just absolutely thrilled to have him as our partner on Ask the Cops. What other show? Somebody said today, what other city has a show where the two top police officers come on and actually open themselves up to answer questions? Now think about it. Most of the time you see sheriffs or you see chief of police, they're standing in front of a microphone, mute almost, and barely answering questions, not addressing a lot of the questions. This is a coup for our community to have them come on and willingly answer questions every other Friday. That would be is it the first and fourth? Yeah, the second and fourth Friday at the Gateway Bank. So we're real happy about that. And once again, much appreciation for to Daniel Hightower. Do I have time to talk about my last night, or you want to go ahead and give the trivia question?
Well, whatever you want to do.
Let me just say real fast, I went to the FTWO dinner last night. Florida Thoroughbred breeders and owners, and thanks to, by the way, to Crystal Furnham and Brent from Journeyman Stud. I had a chance to sit at their table, and hey, it wasn't just a bunch of schlumps like me there. There's some big time people. We'll talk about that a little later on, but Bob Baffert in the house. You see him every year in the Derby, that gray hair, and flowing, right. And one of the best in the game. Baffert was there, and he bragged on Florida breds and how he says, I make a good living. He says, and a lot of that comes from me buying Florida horses. So a big boost there for the folks out there. Great job by Crystal, Crystal and Brent Furnham, but the guy who got an award. But also, of course, to Tammy Gant, who helped put it on. We had her on the program a couple of weeks ago. We'll have her again soon. And Lonnie Powell, our buddy, who's the new executive vice president of the organization, he put it on, and he'll be joining us here in about a week. He's a big fan of talk radio, so Lonnie Powell will be on. So, all right, give us your question real fast.
Real fast?
And don't call till 3:30.
Right. Facebook announced the acquisition of what major photo app company in April of 2012?
That's a softball.
That's a softball. If you know that answer, at 3:30, call 622-9622, the Climate Control Source Hotline. You answer that one, I'll ask you a second question. You get the second question right, bam, 2 tickets to the Marion Theater, the historic Marion Theater.
So you're challenging Ocala again, or what?
I feel nice today. I want to give a couple sets of tickets away.
Really?
Yeah. I've been
not going to insult Ocala like you usually do?
I've been dogging them for, I'd like them to warm up to me a little bit and come out to trivia tonight at Coyote Canteen at 7 o'clock.
Now you're talking. Yeah, now you're talking.
There's a reason behind my madness.
Well, I wonder why, JJ, I wonder why he changed his demeanor all of a sudden, everybody. He's kind of kissing up to him, isn't he?
If you come out tonight at 7 p.m. to Coyote Cantina where I'm doing trivia.
You buy us all drinks?
No.
But
you can win like $25 gift card.
Yeah.
A $15 gift card.
How does it work exactly? Just like teams, or
it's team trivia, and teams consist of anything from one person to as many people as you want on the team.
JJ, one night we'll get a team up. We'll go kick his butt.
But I find a lot of people think they'll
I'd
show
want
up.
you on my team.
You and I can get a team up. We'll get Tom James and somebody will go out there. We'll just kick his butt one night.
A lot of people show up. Like I've had teams that have 12 people on it. Everybody thinks that team with 12 people is unfair. Let me explain something to you.
Yeah.
If you need 12 people on your trivia team,
Not too smart.
The whole group of you ain't that smart.
I'll just send JJ. JJ will take care of it without
I
us.
suck, honestly.
You do?
Suck.
Yeah. So,
Well, but we have to get the
I
age.
suck at all trivia.
But look, me, you, and Tom, we have 3 different generations. Tom James, we have 3 different generations
Right.
covered. Anything on USC or Gators, we'll get. Anything on Miami, you'll
It's not
get.
like
right.
that.
It's
though.
not like that. No. It's very few sports.
Well, I know
questions.
how it is.
Very
I know.
few sports questions.
We have general knowledge too. This is a general knowledge show.
You know,
But
like what was Fred Flintstone's boss's name?
Mr. Slate Rock.
Nice.
I mean, that's
Slate.
easy.
Yeah, that's
Mr.
not what I would
Slate.
get.
Yeah.
I'm not a big Flintstone
Just
fan.
like
That's what I'm
But you know who I'm a big fan of? The mayor of Ocala. He just walked.
what
through
was
the door.
What was George Jetson's boss's name? Mr. Spacely on Spacely
Nice.
Sprockets.
All right, the mayor's here. We're going to take a break. We're talking about Flintstones. It's time to change the subject and get on something a little bit more meaningful. And we'll talk with Ken Glenn in just a moment right here. We take a little break. Don't forget, Tom's got a question for you. Don't call till 3:30. Get a chance to win Marion Theater tickets. Stay tuned for the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up with Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Hi, this is Brad, one of the hosts of Winging It here on WOCA every Friday at 9 a.m. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue regarding aviation. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots, in part due to the lack of new pilots starting their flight training now. A pilot needs 2 to 3 years to get through their training and to build up enough flight time to be able to be hired. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a private pilot's license. This license will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. Now, of course, the student does not have to have aspirations of becoming a commercial pilot. If they simply have a desire to obtain their private pilot's license so they may enjoy the adventures of flying, they may also apply for the scholarship. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact me, Brad, or Ron at Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484. That's 861-7484.
Right now, somewhere in the world, there is a bear waking up from a long winter's hibernation. Scientists are not 100% sure how a bear knows winter is over, but I think I may have an explanation. Here it is. Spring comes to Florida first, so Florida gardeners get that spring fever first and head over to Kenny's Place Nursery. They go to Kenny's Place for gazanias, impatiens, geraniums, and begonias, all for 99 cents each. They also head to Kenny's Place Nursery for pansies, selling for $4 for $1. Now, that is a honey of a deal. Well, the thought of the honey reminds those gardeners of the special role pollinators like bees have in the garden. Now, every bear knows that where there are bees, there is honey. So, their noses wiggle, their ears twitch, and boom, the bear wakes up. And all because of a great sale at Kenny's Place Nursery. Who knew? Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a honey of a deal at Kenny's Place.
What's up with you this weekend?
Just doing my taxes.
Doing your taxes? Go to Liberty Tax. Do you want your money fast or do you want to wait?
Fast, I guess.
That's right. And where do you get America's fastest refunds?
Liberty Tax Service.
Let Liberty Tax show you the freedom.
Find us at libertytax.com or call 866-871-1040 today to find a location near you. That's 866-871-1040.
Remember, March 11th through the 16th, veterans get their taxes done free.
All right, back now with the mayor of Ocala, Kent Gwynn, joins us now. Nice little coffee conversation this morning with the mayor. And a lot of things bubbling up all over town, little things here and there. And as you were telling a certain person from a news channel who we won't talk about today, there's a lot of stories in Ocala, a lot of good stories, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Ocala's got a lot of great news to tell and a great story to tell about our community. So hopefully that situation will come to fruition. But one of the stories I want to tell you about right now, we want to make sure I get out, is April the 20th, which is, a month or so away. We're having Mayor's Spring Cleaning Day. And I know that's been an annual event over the years. Different mayors have done this, but we'll pick a part of the community to pick up trash, clean up, etc. And we will gather back at Tuscaloosa Park for a cookout, hot dogs, hamburgers, and feed everybody after they get through picking up and cleaning up. So I'll have more information on that next week when I.
All right.
But
that's a good thing.
But mark your calendars for April 20th.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, like I said, many good things happening, and of course, you usually point that out. That's one of the things we do in our community. We definitely try to reach out to help other people.
Absolutely.
So you were last night a busy man, standing up there on the stage in your three-piece suit, and I guess maybe it was a two-piece suit.
Two-piece.
And giving out awards at the FTBOA dinner. Very nice dinner, by the way. I've not been to Circle Square, but you have, because I saw you on video today, by the way.
Yeah, I'd only been on that, been there one other time for a large chamber event that they had.
One other time you went.
Really?
When you shot your video for the Ocala, because I saw it today.
Well, I wasn't there.
Well, they had the green screen. Yeah, no, that wasn't not the one I saw. The one I saw showed Circle Square, and anyway.
Okay.
Nonetheless, go ahead. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. You want to talk about that now, or
whatever you want?
Yeah. Oh, okay. No, we had the video that Terry Bradshaw did for about Ocala, and I guess that's going to be out shortly. I think that was the proof. Everybody was checking it, make sure it was okay. So that'll be. I think.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What do you think?
It's good, except for me. But
you did good.
The rest of it, yeah,
you did good.
But
Terry Bradshaw didn't make the video. He just narrated it. He wasn't here.
Yeah, it was his voice. Yeah, but it was good.
He did a good job on it.
Yeah. So they'll get that. I think it's supposed to be on Fox Business News shortly. So yeah, it'll be good.
I must say, I was part of that meeting originally, the planning of that.
I know,
several
remember
people,
you
but I didn't
yeah.
have a lot to do with the video.
Okay.
Ginger and some of those people did a great job on that. Give them credit, Steve Velassi and others. But nonetheless, I think they came out with something. And I know my daughter Lori worked on it too. In the end, and I think it covered everything in the county and the city.
It did.
And it branded Ocala, Marion County really well. And it looked pretty darn enticing compared to the one I saw they sent us that we saw from another community. I thought it looked pretty darn good.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't live here, I would want to come here and visit.
Yeah, looks good. So Kevin Shealy's got something to shop with down there.
Sure. Well, yeah, I mean, we'll put it on the city's website. Definitely, I'm sure CEP will put it on their website. Yeah. So it's good. I mean, you can go, when you Google Ocala and you can see that. And I think it gives a broad spectrum of everything that there is to do in Ocala. It's a pretty unique community. I mean, it's not your vanilla bricks and mortar, palm trees and flat land that people think of Florida. So, but yeah, last night, at the go ahead and talk about that if you want.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say that. Yeah, go ahead.
Florida Thoroughbred Breeders and Owners Association. Lonnie Powell, the chairman, our director. I don't know what Lonnie's
executive vice president.
Executive vice president. Yeah, that runs it. He had invited me, and one of the things that Lonnie and I are trying to work on, is a better relationship between the thoroughbred breeders and the business community. A lot of people don't realize, how important that industry is to Ocala Marion County. It's been around here since the late 40s. And it's a great industry. It's a clean industry. A lot of great people are involved in it. There were people last night there from all over the country. Bob Baffert was there, a great trainer, one of the best in the world.
Some nice words he said about Florida horses, too.
About Florida horses.
Made a good living at it, he said, and he buys a lot of Florida horses.
Yeah, and so anyway, it was good. The equine business in general, but specifically the thoroughbred industry is really good to Ocala, and we need to appreciate how important it is. Brings a lot of money and a lot of people here that would probably otherwise not be here.
I had not been out to the Circle Square Cultural Center, but the food was very good, by the way.
It was real good.
The facility was nice, and it was well staged. And those things are hard to put on because there's so many awards to give out. And you sit there. I felt sorry for you standing up on the stage on your feet there for all I think.
Yeah, it was kind of.
You didn't have your hush puppies on either.
No, I did not. But I had to kind of shift around. My legs were getting a little numb.
Sure. Well, congratulations to the winners. I guess the horse of the year was Little Mike.
Little Mike.
Yeah. And once again, third year in a row that the Florida Breeder of the Year was Michael O'Farrell and Ocala Stud Farm. So congratulations. I thought Mike made a good point, and I think he was really honest. He said, this business is when it's good, it's very good. When it's tough, when it's not good, it's very tough.
Yeah, that was a great statement.
Right now, it's pretty good. He said he's been there and done that, and his dad did too. My gosh, his dad. And Joe Farrell was one of the pioneers of breeding in the community. Of course, early on, Carl Rose and all those people did it. But Joe Farrell took it to a new level and brought Ocala a lot of attention, especially out of the Miami market. And he became one of the respected breeders, and. Just looking at all those stakes races and those grade ones things on the video, the horses won from Florida, pretty impressive, wasn't it?
It was impressive, and I knew Mr. Farrell when he was alive, but Mike will tell you, I mean that farm, Ocala Stud, I mean that is a working farm.
Sure
that is not a hobby for them.
Yeah.
There's some farms here. The farm owners have
some
other
people are very wealthy.
Well,
and
they have other occupations,
and
this is somewhat of a hobby. But no, at Ocala Stud, they do that for a living. It's not a hobby.
They do. I was looking at the Florida bred earnings, and I got the figures in front of me. And Ocala Stud was number one with $3.1 million. Adena Springs, that's Frank Stronach.
Right.
People forget he's in the horse business too.
Right.
He's just a little over $3 million. And then you got Gilbert Campbell, who's 2.8, followed by Vacaressa, Carlisle Vacaressa at 2.6, and Bridlewood Farm at 2.3. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that had $2 million or more. So that's 6. That's $10 million right there. All those 5 farms.
Right.
Which is pretty good, impressive. So, and then what I like is they got the national champions. They go through, starting with Needles in '56, and go through year by year. So it's something that I know we probably take it for granted that we have this industry here, but it's pretty renowned. When you got a guy walking up like Baffert and several people, one guy got up and said, I do not buy none. I forget who it was. I'm sorry, I don't know the man's name because he's very well known. But he said, I buy nothing but the Florida Breads.
Yeah, he's the gentleman that said, I'm Kentucky from, what did he say? I'm Kentucky in and out, and I don't buy anything but Florida Breads.
Yeah, so was all good, and so that was a good little thing. What else has happened that we should know about in the city that we should talk about?
Got the governor coming Friday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gonna
take him out to Silver Springs. Will you?
Well, I've got him for an hour, so
Yeah.
I've got two things I'm going to have him do. So we'll get him in and out.
And Marion County Day will be up in Tallahassee. We got to get a little pipeline up there and find out what went on today.
Yeah.
So from our contingent. So if you're out there, folks, you know what's going on. We'll call maybe tomorrow and see if we can get a hold of Stan or Kathy or somebody about that and find out what happened. And
Yeah, because Senator Huckel called me and asked me, "Are you coming to Marion County Day on Tuesday?" I said I didn't even know it was Marion County Day.
How can they have Marion County Day? I have the mayor of Ocala. I don't understand.
I mean, so anyway, I said that's news to me, Senator.
Yeah.
But she was kind enough to call me and ask if there was anything she could do for us, and she's doing a great job up there. So I appreciate Senator Huckel being one of our advocates for Ocala, Marion County.
And by the way, I know we sound like we constantly got our pom-poms on here like cheerleaders and stuff, but I know you love this community, and so do I. And we want to see good things. But it feels like we got our mojo back right now. It feels like things are starting to crackle. You see good things happening, and you think. I mean, I talked to when I had last week when I had a Kevin Shealy on.
Yeah.
He said they wish they'd make Ocala 49 bigger. They think it's going to be too small, and that's been pretty impressive.
Well, it's there's a piece of property next to it that's owned by a private individual, and there's another one that's owned by a family that's on beyond that, a little north of that, and then you've got our golf course that's Pine Oaks that I think is contiguous to it. That's about 250 acres. So, I don't know what the future of that is, but, there's been some discussion about doing some things with that or just a piece of it. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, I wish it was 1,000 acres.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe someday it will be, but, we just need to, take care of what we've got here now.
You're an optimist. You're basically an optimist, which is one thing I like about you.
Oh, absolutely.
But what is your gut on Silver Springs?
On Silver Springs?
Yeah, what's your gut tell you?
Well, my gut tells me I'd like to bring it back to the way it was when I was growing up, with with the beach, with the volleyball, with the glass bottom boats, the
Ross Allen's,
the Jungle Cruise, the retail stores there, swimming, restaurant there that you could even go to without even having to go into the springs and pull up in the back of it in the parking lot, and great place for lunch or dinner. So yeah, I mean, that's what I would like to see.
You think it's going to happen?
Well, I think it'll happen. I mean, I think we all agree, no matter what side of the coin you're on, that it needs to be cleaned up as far as the water is concerned, and be taken care of. That was one of the things that was just terrible when I went out there with the state of Florida.
DEP.
DEP. The one day I just couldn't believe.
Commercial Vineyard.
Oh, I couldn't believe that the grass is just growing over the side, and the gentleman was mowing the yard and just blowing all the leaves and grass into the springs. It was just unbelievable. And place was about to fall down. So, yeah, it just needs to be a lot of rehab done to it.
We've got to have the economic engine that goes with it. We cannot have it just as a passive park.
No way. That can't happen. No,
I hope people will get involved and let their elected officials know that.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they speak out real loudly about that. But yeah, and you and I grew up, or you and I were here. I mean, I grew up here. You've been here for forever. You know what the Springs was like.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, they don't know that.
No.
So it's difficult for them to get a grasp of what it used to be like.
Yeah.
I guess we've got pictures and.
Well, we got
like
Bruce
that.
Mozart. By the way,
Mozart.
he's written up in Huffington Post. I just saw an article.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was a picture, actually. What it was, a picture of taken underwater in the Huffington Post, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what a national treasure he is, too, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Mayor Gwynn, it's always good to have you. Thanks for taking the
All
time
right,
to
you're
come
welcome.
in, and I see you everywhere you go. That's a good thing, and thanks for representing our city.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
Kent Gwynn, we'll take a break, come back. The Trivinator is back. You can start dialing now. JJ, you remember the question? I don't remember it. What was it? Something along the lines of, I don't know. Call us and we'll let you know right now. Lines are open on the climate control hotline, 622-9622. Tom, the Trivinator, is in the house on Tuesdays. Stay tuned. More coming on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life. From everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hey, Larry, nice haircut.
Oh, thanks, Robin. Looks like you had something different done, too.
Yes, I did. Thanks for noticing. I went to Lupe at Merle Norman on the Boulevard for a fresh cut, some summer highlights, and a facial.
No kidding. That's who I go to. I didn't know she did all that.
She does coloring, waxing, styling, updos, microderms, and she does it all for prices that won't break the bank.
Sounds like you can take the whole family there.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Hi, this is Lupe. Let me be your personal stylist. To set up your appointment, call me today, 426-1229.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Married men are more likely to keep up with routine doctor's visits than bachelors. Their cancer was detected earlier, so they were 35% more likely to survive. The longer we commute, the more stress we have in our bodies, the higher our body mass index, and the more strain it puts on our relationships. People learn more effectively when they break up their lessons over several short sessions rather than one long cramming marathon.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
That fabulous spring garden show just rolls along at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, and one of this week's hottest specials is citrus trees. Bob has just received a truckload of citrus. They're available at super low prices. Take your pick. A huge selection of budded and blooming citrus ready for planting, just $59.99 each. But Bob's spring garden price is even better than that. Buy two for $99. That's right, less than $50 each when you buy a pair of these wonderful citrus trees at Bob Wine's. And if you're really cramped for space, check out the new dwarf citrus trees. You can plant them in a pot or on a tiny piece of dirt. They're super low priced now at Bob Wine's, and don't forget those spring veggies. Just about any veggie you want, just $2.29 in 4 packs, and those popular 4-inch herbs, also $2.29 a pack. It's held over another week. The huge spring garden show at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street, Ocala. Open daily till 4. Don't miss it.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA, The Source.
This is Tom Schmitz live in the WOCA News Studio with this news break brought to you by Renstar Medical Research. The Multi-Agency Wildland Task Force met Monday and is encouraging residents to voluntarily refrain from outside burning. As of Monday, some areas in the county bordered the drought index severe range. Officials said burn piles that got out of control caused many of the county's recent brush fires. Residents can always take yard debris to the Marion County landfill or one of the 17 recycling centers around the county. This news break was brought to you by Renstar Medical Research, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Call 352-629-5800 for more information.
Welcome back to the program. Coming up, the Terminator in the house. He's got his question ready for you. The bell is here. And Ocala, step it up. You got, 20-some minutes, 23 minutes or so, if you'd like to win a couple of tickets to see the movie at the Marion Theater, or maybe other goodies as well. I think the Terminator has a question.
I do.
The music. I'll repeat it, and let's go.
Facebook announced the acquisition of what major photo app company in April of 2012? JJ, do we have a caller on the line? Who do we have?
So now you got to answer this one, and you got one more to go.
Right, exactly. Who do we have, JJ? Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan, how are you today?
I'm doing great, sir. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Do you know the answer to the question?
Yes, sir. I am going to say that I recently had an Instagram account but had to take it down because apparently they were trying to sell pics all over the World Wide Web.
All right, Ryan, nice going.
That's correct. Now, another question about April of 2012.
April 2012, Ryan. Come on, you can get this.
American Jim Young Kim was appointed head of which international organization in April of 2012?
That's not Kim Young. Oh, no, that's not
Jim Young Kim, American.
Not to be confused with the guy Dennis Rodman's vacationing with, by the way.
American Jim Young Kim was appointed head of what international organization in April of 2012?
I am going to say that the World Bank was ready to welcome him with arms wide open.
Knocked it out the box. Wow.
There you go.
Bingo. Jim, way to go, buddy. Good job.
No, Ryan.
Ryan, I'm sorry.
So, Ryan,
it's okay.
So you did away with your Instagram portfolio, huh?
Yeah, because they were trying to sell pics for no apparent reason.
That's right.
Well, I know some pictures they weren't trying to sell, any that had Buddy or myself in them.
So, I dropped out for the same reason you did, Ryan. I saw that and they were going to start using your pictures. I said, nope, I'm out.
Well, hang on the line, JJ. I'll get your information. You're now the winner of 2 tickets to the historic Marion Theater.
Way to go, Ryan.
So they just
hope he's still there.
Just gave it away right away, didn't they?
Man, I couldn't have got the second one. That's hard. Was that a setup?
Huh? I have no idea.
Did you set the guy
up?
No. Huh? You said you were generous, but
I was amazed you got it as well.
I thought you'd at least have a little bit of fight.
I thought I'd ask a pretty hard question.
I did too. You know, Cal must be getting smarter.
Or their computer connection's a lot faster than it used to be.
Yeah, because he knocked that out right out.
I mean, he didn't even think about it.
No.
There's no way he Googled that fast. He just knew it.
He knew it.
That's very impressive.
Very impressive.
Very impressive. You want me to ask another question?
Sure, if you'd like.
So fast,
maybe we'll even ask a horse question later on. You never know.
Yesterday would have been the 61st birthday of what author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? Very good book, by the way.
Funny that you mentioned that book because I just read a very interesting article about a guy who found a new way to publish, who's in his 30s, and he's got a very successful book that started on ebooks, and it's a great blueprint for authors today. And his favorite book was
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
One of the ones he wrote, kind of a little sci-fi deal.
Yesterday would have been his 61st birthday. Who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
We're just going to assume he's gone because you said would have been.
Yeah, he passed away at 49. One of my favorite authors. My favorite author, of course, is Wilton Buddy Martin.
Thank you. Good answer. Good answer.
After that.
Good answer. By the way, more news coming on that soon.
Yeah, there is. And I'm actually going to start working on a coffee table book of trivia questions.
Yeah.
And I've heard rumors that I may have somebody close to me that will be able to help me publish that. I've heard rumors. I don't know.
JJ probably.
I've heard.
I'm not
Hunter, JJ, somebody.
Somebody. Like
I've heard somebody close might have the editorial skills and know how to get things published.
I'm just going to say this for the 4 people that know that I write books out there, that one of the books I've been approached by the authors and asked them to update it, and we will probably be going to be doing, they were signing that contract now, and that'll be announced soon. The book will be available this fall. So there you go.
Look at there. So right in time for the Christmas
there you go.
time.
You can do
And
it.
it's a book that is, I know the book you're speaking of.
Yes, you do.
And it is a fabulous gift idea as a book for anybody who's a fan of that situation.
In that situation, there's information you won't get anywhere else.
Nowhere else.
So, all right, you got
the question out there now is, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
You might have stumped him on that one.
I Google will let them get it.
What do they get on this one?
If they get these two up right, I'm gonna give them 2 tickets to see Jamie Johnson at Silver Springs this weekend.
Who's Jamie Johnson?
He sings. He's a country singer. His biggest song is "In Color." It's gonna be a good concert.
I thought he was a stock car driver.
No, that's Jimmy Johnson.
I know. It's my joke.
But Jamie Johnson this weekend at Silver Springs. I got 2 tickets.
Well, those are worth for a couple of bucks.
They're $35 a ticket.
Well, there you go. That's $70. Joe coming through, huh?
Yeah, Joe Bartone.
All right, give him the question. Give him the answer.
Who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? If you know that answer, call the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline.
Yeah.
At 622-9622. You get that one right. I ask you a follow-up question. You get that one right. You have 2 tickets to see Jamie Johnson this weekend at Silver Springs.
All right, there you go. And maybe you'll have a horse question there at some point in time. You never know. All right, while we're waiting, JJ, let's roll out the tweets and quotes while we got them, all right? And we'll, if we get a call, we'll jump right in on that. We got Angie Lewis coming up at 4:15, and she's got a special guest. Terrific Good Neighbor Award today. Absolutely terrific. Somebody that really deserves it and didn't want to drag this person in because she did not want to come in because she didn't like attention. All right, ready? This is from Pythagoras. Think about this. This is cool. A thought is an idea in transit.
Yes.
Powerful stuff right there. All right, we love Will Rogers, don't we? Even if you're on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there.
Yes.
And of course, can never go wrong with my boy Stephen Wright. Oh well, I guess this is going to be just one of those lifetimes. All right, coming up on the minute to go. Give the question again, and we'll sit back, and maybe that'll be it for the day.
Who is the author of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
You got him on this one. They're going to get this.
It's a good book. You ever read that book, JJ?
JJ doesn't do sci-fi, I don't think.
It's one of the best books. It's one of the best books
I just
you
don't
ever
do
read.
reading a lot.
No?
That's it.
It's one of the best books you
Just
ever
like
read.
I've heard of it.
I want to veg and sit there. You
There's
do
a
some
movie.
reading. You do reading from time to time, like ESPN.com.
Internet reading. Not
Well, that's
ESPN.
good. There actually is some good internet reading. I read a really good piece on Matt Lauer. Came from the Daily Beast, and it was a long story. He explained all the nuances of what went on. Obviously, he went public with this with a writer from Daily Beast, and he explained his side. The network executives explained their side. They talked about Ann Curry, her situation, and what happened, how it all sort of went awry. They had an agreement, and Curry agreed to step aside, and then she bawled her eyes out on TV and became a sympathetic figure. And in the process, Matt Lauer had started talking to Katie Couric, trying to get her to come back, because he admitted he didn't necessarily want to work with Ann. Nothing against her. The chemistry was not good. And that was evidenced by the fact that the ratings started going down when she and Ann Curry and Matt Lauer were doing the show.
Well, Matt Lauer, they said, even offered his resignation.
He did.
And said, maybe I'm the problem
Yeah, I
here.
told you that yesterday.
And the Burke said, no.
No.
We're not going for
20
that.
million a year, too, by the way. Yeah. 20 million. So.
Right.
I've shifted over. My wife's got me shifted over to Good Morning America now, so I'm doing
See, I
more
watched
of that.
CBS this morning with
I
Charlie
like
Rose.
that. I can do that, too. We flip back and forth CBS and Charlie Rose. And
I like Charlie Rose a lot, so.
I do, too. You got to be careful because he's a very liberal guy. You'll be associated with that.
I know he's horrible. He's a horrible liberal guy.
I thought
he's
you
horribly
did,
liberal.
but it's out now, bro.
He's horribly
liberal.
liberal.
You're listening to a liberal.
You know why
no,
I like
it's out. You
know
can't
why I
backpedal.
like Charlie Rose?
Because he's liberal.
No.
Mark it down. He's gone to love roll.
You know why I like Charlie Rose? Because he's a fabulous orator.
North Carolina guy.
I know. And he can tell some stories.
He's very smart.
You know, he used to have that show on PBS. It was incredible.
Oh, yeah. I watched that show 1,000 times.
I don't have to agree with his idealistic thoughts, but I like the way he tells a story. But that's because I used to go to storytelling festivals in North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you've ever been to a storytelling festival, but there are some great storytellers in North Carolina. Charlie Rose being one of them.
That indeed, smart guy. All right, we'll take a break, come back, wrap up this. Boy, it's a fast hour. Give that question quickly. Well, I guess he knocked you out the box, Ryan, and now you're done.
Now I got angry. So I got mad.
You did get mad.
I got mad.
And you're getting even because nobody's called.
That's it, exactly. Who authored The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Come on, Ocala, you can get this. 622-9622. Take a break.
Birthday would have been yesterday.
Listen to the program called Voice of Ocala on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
Of course, bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate allowance offers no combined.
Are you bored, tired, and disgusted with your old car?
Hey, this is Cupid, Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I want you to love your car, so trade in the old car you hate.
Even if you're still making payments, even if you owe more than it's worth.
And I'll help you drive a nicer, newer car sooner than you ever thought possible. Plus, when you use your tax refund as a down payment, you'll get a lot nicer, newer car. So you can hook up with a car you love today.
Bad credit? Cupid got you down? Our For the People credit approval specialists are world-class matchmakers. They'll connect you with the lender most likely to approve your loan.
Hate your old car?
Dump it and fall in love with a nicer, newer car today, even if you owe more than it's worth or still making payments. Plus, turn your tax refunds into your down payment and save a lot on a car you'll love.
Hurry, this love fest ends when we match 57 people with a car of their dreams. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people. Visit me in Ocala or Bellevue.
Online at PrestigeSaysYes.com
or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to a panel of experts on the No More study as part of National No More Day, bringing awareness to violence and sexual assault among young people.
The Honorable Julian J. Robinson is the Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party in Jamaica. He's coming on the air to warn us about the Jamaican lottery scams that are targeting the elderly in Florida.
And then on Open for Debate, I'll bring a topic to the show and we'll debate it.
Vasula Ryden is a mystic. She's written a book called Heaven is Real, but So is Hell, an eyewitness account of what is to come.
And then Patricia R. Benjamin will be speaking to us. She's the founder of the New Jersey Reform Party. She's written a biography of Ross Perot.
Helen Moon is a professional nanny. She's appeared on the reality series Scott Baio is 46 and pregnant. She'll be speaking about her book, Cherish the First 6 Weeks.
Scott Baio is pregnant?
I know, I had to look at it again.
And then Legally Yours with your host, John Fuller, answering your legal questions.
And have all of your health questions answered by Dr. Riyad Fakhouri on the Head to Toe Care Show.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live.
In Clark, we trust.
Hi, this is Clark Howard. Join me every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because if you can, then so can your customers. Radio works. Call today to advertise your business right here on WOCA 1370, The Source.
WOCA, Ocala Radio.
All right, back in the program, Voice of Ocala coming up at 5. It's Around the Water Cooler with Tom James. Dave Pingalore will be here. And JJ, do you have that bite on Ask the Cops there handy? We have time to roll that out there real fast.
Which one do you want?
Just roll one out. We'll just play it. And this is now sponsored by Daniel Hightower.
And this is Chris Blair, and he's talking about the steps he's taken to
if we've got time. If we don't,
we'll
stop it and come fill the rest of it later. Go ahead.
We're busy down there, and but we're enjoying it. I mean, we got 70 people from the outside, and retired law enforcement officers and business people from the community coming in to the sheriff's office, and they've been in there for a couple weeks, engaging with the employees, trying to get feedback. It's an outstanding thing, and it's going great. I'm putting a lot of hours in, but that's part of the job, and I think it's important to engage with the employees, and we have an opportunity to do several things, and I think what's important is know that they can come forward with information. And we have a few internal investigations going on at this time, but I think the important thing is just reorganizing. I spent 35 years here at the Sheriff's Office, and I just wanted to come back and take the opportunity to lead it, and maybe in a different direction. I wanted to go more toward proactive law enforcement. We do have some concerns. We rank 23rd in the state for violent crime.
I saw that.
County. And, we're shortage with deputies and stuff. So I had to be creative, and, I created basically a 30-man unit as a response team, but they're working independent of each other in 4 different areas. So they're addressing 4 different locations in Marion County, 4 different tasks, so that if I do need them, one phone call, I got 30 people to handle any given situation at any time.
Chris Blair Asked the Cops, which will be again now a week from Friday Gateway, and he has a kind of edited version, summation of what he's doing in office now. Right. Internal investigations going on still, reorganization. I like his task force idea of attacking 5,500 warrants, but I thought was a lot. But according to Tolles Bigelow, that's not that many. He said there used to be 15,000 here. But I think this gives us an idea of where he's going. Next hour, we'll hear from Greg Graham, the chief of police, on another bite which we had. And again, this all will be brought to you by our friends at Daniel Hightower, attorney at law. So, all right, stay tuned. Hour 2 coming up. Angie Lewis will join us. She's got a very special guest and one of my very favorite people in all of Ocala. You'll find out who that is.
Should I give the answer?
No.
Don't give the answer?
Oh, you mean give the answer to the quiz, yeah. What was the, give the question and the answer, you got 10 seconds.
The question was, who wrote The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yeah.
And the answer, of course, is Douglas, what?
Not Woody Allen, right?
Nope, Douglas Adams.
Doug Adams.
Yep.
Thank you, Doug. Hour 2 coming up right here on the program. Stay tuned to
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. Streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Tall and screw up right with them Indiana boys on an Indiana night.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
Relations got you down. Are you at your wit's end? Does the opposite sex just confuse you? Then I've got the solution for you, Dr. Buddy.
Well, let me just tell you what you slugs are doing wrong. Remember, dummy, it's about the chase and the romantic interludes, okay? Now, here's the difference. Instead of dinner and a movie, which seems obsolete these days, they have this random phone text, Facebook post, instant message, and quote-unquote non-dates. Traditional courtship, which is still what women want, guys. Picking up a telephone, asking someone on a date, maybe even going as far to pick them up in your car, requires courage, strategic planning, and a considerable investment in ego.
So now you know where to tune in to get all your relationship advice. It's the Dr. Buddy Show every Monday on the Voice of Ocala. You can succeed only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source. They've served our country. They've kept us free. And they need your help.
We're sitting in Veterans Park. You can't sit here not realizing that you're surrounded by heroes. There are a lot of heroes in our community. A lot of heroes, unfortunately, are not in good financial shape. They're hurting both physically and financially. We step in and help directly. Our role is to reach out to them. We're there to help the veteran. We do counseling. We do outreach. Sometimes it's just coming into the office and sitting down and saying, hey, I've got a problem, and you're talking to another veteran who understands that problem.
Everybody who works for the Vets Helping Vets are awesome, and they are so kind to everybody. They're like my second family. They really are.
They have been there during the holidays. I have gotten unexpected visits, assistance.
Vets Helping Vets of Marion County needs your help. Call today, 352-433-2320, and pledge your support to Vets Helping Vets of Marion County.
It really has been a blessing.
Hi, this is Brad, one of the hosts of Winging It here on WOCA every Friday at 9 a.m. I want to take a moment to talk about a serious issue regarding aviation. In the next 5 years, the aviation industry is projected to have a shortage of commercial pilots, in part due to the lack of new pilots starting their flight training now. A pilot needs 2 to 3 years to get through their training and to build up enough flight time to be able to be hired. Now is the time to start training. Ocala Flying Club has started a scholarship for the youth of Marion County ages 17 to 24. The club will donate up to $4,000 towards a private pilot's license. This license will help get the student on their way to obtaining their commercial pilot license. Now, of course, the student does not have to have aspirations of becoming a commercial pilot. If they simply have a desire to obtain their private pilot's license so they may enjoy the adventures of flying, they may also apply for the scholarship. If this sounds like something you would be interested in, or if you know someone that would be, please contact me, Brad, or Ron at Ocala Aviation Services, 861-7484. That's 861-7484.
Hi, I'm Russ with Climate Control Mechanical Services, and I want to invite you to tune in every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. to listen for tips and answers to the many questions you may have about your air conditioning and heating for your home or business. The Climate Control Show, every Thursday at 10:30 a.m. right here on WOCA, 1370 a.m. and 96.3 FM, The Source.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
Or nope, not today. The first smoke signal from the Vatican was black, and that means the Cardinals haven't elected a new pope yet. When they finally do make a choice, which will be at the very earliest tomorrow, the smoke will be white. What goes up? Well, you know what they say. Stocks are slipping after a 7-day rally, but they're still trading well above 1,400. Going gluten-free may help you lose weight, but it could also be a recipe for health problems. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics says only about 1% of the population really can't tolerate wheat products. Whole grains, which contain gluten, are a good source of fiber. Vitamins and minerals in gluten-free products are often lower in nutrients. Well, it happened to First Lady Michelle Obama, Vice President Biden, and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. You could also be a victim of identity theft. The Secret Service and the FBI are looking into how a website obtained their information. This is ABC News.
Mom, I had the best best dream.
Well, good morning to you, too.
Okay, so I was a knight. I had a sword, and our house was a castle. There was this angry dragon. It was kind of scary.
Oh, yeah?
But I protected the castle.
Oh, that's my brave little man. I'm glad our castle is safe.
Your home is your castle, and sometimes you need help defending it. The National Association of Realtors supports maintaining homeowner tax incentives because they make home ownership more affordable for more families. Learn more at houselogic.com.
With over 1 million products, Grainger's your one-stop shop to help keep your facility running. And no one has more of the best brands. Like Fluke. Grainger has an enormous selection of Fluke testing tools, including the VTO2 visual thermometer, a breakthrough in temperature measurement. The brands you want, the products you need, the good-looking radio guy you love to hear. Okay, I added that part. Buy your supplies smarter. Call, visit a branch, or click Grainger.com/Fluke today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Don't worry, we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei. It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala. Hoo-ah!
You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
Like Van said, it's hour 2 of the show called Voice of Ocala on March the 12th, 2013. They said it couldn't be done. We're still on the air. Amazes me every time I come in the studio. They haven't seen through us yet. And our listenership is climbing. I think we cracked 25 a couple of weeks ago. I'm pushing 30. So, hey, we're on our way. Glad to have you folks with us. Really are pleased to hear your comments. We love to have your participation. By the way, this is a talk show. We don't always take calls because we have guests, like we're coming up in Angie Lewis and her Good Neighbor Award. But this is a pipeline to the community for you. And if we don't have the answers, we'll try to find them or get you in touch with somebody who does, pertaining to issues. Now, we're not interested in trying to get your blender fixed at home or, what's wrong with your car. There are people who do that, but we do love to hear dialogue from you. And we have ways to reach us. We have a Facebook page. Tom, do you know what it is? No, you don't. It's the Voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, I think it's called. And we have Twitter. Mine is Buddy Show. And we have, of course, standard email, buddy@woca.com. So ways to reach us. Love to hear from you whenever you got something to say or ideas for guests, etc. We'd love to hear from you.
We got also, you can, if you missed some of the shows, you can go to the WOCA webpage at WOCA.com, click on Buddy's Voice of Ocala picture or the number 3, which will take you to the Voice of Ocala picture. Click on it and then go down about half the page and click on the podcast. And we have excerpts from great parts of the show in our podcast.
That's good.
If you missed Urban Meyer, the interview Urban Meyer had where he said Tim Tebow's going to win the Super Bowl in his career. We got that podcast up.
That went viral almost.
It did.
Which ones of ours have made the biggest impact? You're in charge. You and Sean are doing
the two Urban Meyer ones. One of them has over 1,000 hits. One of them has over 700 hits.
Yeah. That's not well. But the podcast, it's over 2,000 because Brendan posted it and got 500. Right. So that's 2,200.
Like we had George Tomlin talking about school safety when he was in.
Did that do well?
Got over 500 hits.
Okay.
We got Gary Gregory talking about ways in case your email get hacked.
And by the way, guess what? They got on USA Today, that very thing about getting hacked in your system, not just your email.
But email, that's got over 350 hits.
All right, so we want to triple those numbers. So tell people again how to get those.
You go to WOCA.com, click on the Voice of Ocala picture at the top of the page, or the number 3, which will take you to the picture. Click on the picture. It'll take you to our page. About halfway down, you'll see a podcast symbol with a set of headphones on it. Click on that, and bam, you're at the Voice of Ocala podcast page.
Yeah, and I'd like to get email addresses from people so we can add them to the email of our podcast, too. So if you will send us your email address, we'll get to you the master list, and you'll get that at your own personal
And
email.
you know something else they can do? Anybody can do this when they go to our podcast page. If they like a podcast, right there on the page, they can click on the share button and they can share it with all their friends.
We like that too. So all the social media stuff we're getting dragged into kicking and screaming, but we're finally getting there. Okay, we had the voice. We had the sheriff and the chief of police on our Ask the Cops last Friday, and we heard last hour from Sheriff Blair. Now it's time to hear from Greg Graham talking about some of the things happening in terms of crime, and this is what he had to say about that.
Busy couple of weeks. We've had some pretty high-profile cases. The guy that stabbed the 22-week pregnant girl actually was his nephew. She was his nephew. Fortunately, she's doing better. She's up at Shands. It looks like the baby's going to survive, and so is she. So he's in custody. We charged him today with the attempted murder of her after we were able to talk to her because she had been intubated. We weren't able to actually speak with her. But I give a lot of credit to the doctors at ORMC. When we got there, she was stabbed multiple times in the neck, face, and torso, and they were able to get her to the hospital very quick and get her into surgery. And there for a while it was touch and go. We certainly didn't think the baby was going to survive, but it was a big question mark whether she was going to, based on just the sheer number of stab wounds that she received. But they did an outstanding job, and tell you that ORMC, their trauma center, was really a godsend certainly to the police department. I know it was also to the sheriff because, prior to them opening their trauma center, any major trauma like that was at Shan, so we would have to send all our resources up there to conduct the investigation, do the interviews, and all that other stuff. So we're able to turn around a lot of our investigations quicker just based on them being here. And we had numerous cases of criminal mischief this past week or last week where somebody was going around shooting out windows of cars with a BB gun or a wrist rocket. We were able to arrest 3 juveniles that were involved in some others later in the week, but we still are looking for the people that were involved in that. I think there were 38 cases or over 30 cases of it, and it's just ridiculous to have somebody drive through the city with a BB gun and just start shooting out windows just for the fun of it.
All right, that was the chief of police, Greg Griffin. I think what he meant to say was he was her uncle. Is that right?
Right. He was her uncle. She was his niece.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you he works without a net. No prepared script, and he just talks off the top. It's legit. So, anyway, every other Friday starting on the first Friday of the...
Second Friday.
Why do I keep saying? Because it was the first Friday.
It's the second and fourth Friday.
Second and fourth Friday. Get that right, soon. Second, fourth Friday. That means we've got one coming up not next
Friday,
week, but one after next Friday. All right, so let's talk about the Pope for a second. Pope Analytics.
Okay.
They closed. That was kind of a neat thing, and they showed on CNN closing the doors.
Right.
Today, and with all those cardinals were left inside there, the Sistine Chapel, and watching some of that, you could tell that the commentators on CNN were quite taken by that whole thing. And one thing about the Catholic Church, their ceremonies are fabulous. I mean, they have what they do something. They do it really beautifully. But now they're going to go behind closed doors, and some people are kind of guess, obviously who it's going to be. I'm sure, JJ, you can pull up something in Vegas to give you the odds. But this particular article I read today was the Pope Analytics, and they're saying it's be between the ages of 63 and 73. A blogger in Washington says that. He's a Vatican watcher. He said he feels like that would be the age group. And he's whittled it down to 28. I don't know exactly who's on that list, but his list includes no Italians, no Germans, and no Americans. So
we're still a long way from an American Pope.
Oh, let alone 11 cardinals. So.
And you know why? You know why no Italians? Because they feel like that the Italians that are in power at the Vatican, they control the. The Vatican has its own bank, by the way.
Y'all want to hear the odds?
Yeah.
Angelo Scola, odds-on favorite from Italy.
There are none nominated, I bet. But okay, go ahead.
What do you mean? Peter Turkson, 7-2 odds, Ghana. Odilo Pedro Scherher,
Spain.
Brazil. 4-1 odds. Tarcisio Bertoni, Italy. 6-1 odds. Mark Olay, Canada.
Canada.
So guy from the U.S. is all the way down 14-1 odds. Sean O'Malley.
Sean, great name.
And Timothy Dolan.
Where's
so
Cardinal
Timothy Dolan's the guy
Dolan?
from New York.
Yeah.
Right.
O'Malley, I think, is from
And by the way,
Chicago.
Dennis Rodman will be traveling to the Vatican,
Yeah.
as well. So he's taking on all major
You know who he's going with?
events.
He's going to vacation.
Well, he's going to try to bring peace
the
with
premier of North Korea, Kim Jong
There?
Un. Yes, he's going. Not up there, but he's going. I saw the bulletin. He's going to go on
definitely
vacation.
not there.
Going to go on vacation together. Wonder what the odd couple is or something. Wow.
I can't hate on a good friendship, but good friends only come around once a lifetime.
But look, I mean, I could be friends with Jesse James, the robber, too, but, that might be the smartest thing in the world to do. You know what I'm saying? Friends are, it's a little different kind of deal.
When talking about
Plus,
the Pope,
being friends with Dennis Robbins is odd right off the bat. So
that is awesome.
When talking about the Pope, the reason a lot of people are saying it won't be an Italian is because of the Vatican Bank. And the Vatican Bank right now is under a cloud of what's the word I'm looking for here? Under suspicion, because the Vatican Bank, it has been rumored, is now laundering money for the La Costa Nostra in Italy.
Well, one of the major guys that's up for contention to be the Pope, his bank or his church, I guess, was just ambushed by anti-mafia police units because of this. So, pretty hilarious.
Well, it's not likely to be a short. I think the shortest conclaves have been between 3 and 4 rounds. There has been one pope elected on the first round, like 1,000 years ago.
Leo.
And there haven't been but that many ever who resigned. But apparently, I guess Pope Pius in 1922 was there for a long time.
One of my
14
favorites.
ballots.
Right.
14 for the game.
Well,
and they're saying what they do if they get down to 2, they can make up their mind, they'll throw them out and start all over again.
What's the deal with the smoke? I don't.
Well, the smoke is they're looking for white smoke. That means they got a pope name.
Right. It's black smoke until a pope is named, and then they go with the white smoke to signal to the world that there is a new leader of the Catholic
Why are they still
Church.
doing it like that when Pope has a Twitter now?
Well, that was on
You know what
Pope.
I'm
Who knows?
saying?
I don't think that's JJ. There's
The
such a
same
thing.
reason-
I don't believe that Twitter is going to replace the tradition
You want me
of
to
the
tell you
black
why?
smoke and the white smoke.
The
JJ.
the same reason. Do you know the State of the Union address the president does, JJ?
Right.
Do you know that he must ask permission from the House Speaker to enter the floor of Congress to do the State of the
And
Union
there was some
address?
question whether Boehner would let him in.
I mean, it's a huge thing. The House,
pretty awesome.
the House caller opens the door and says, "Mr. Speaker, the President of the United States would like to enter the hall," and then the Speaker has to say, "Yes, let him enter," or he wouldn't be able to enter. But it's tradition. That's why they do the black smoke and the white smoke.
I do see some pink smoke. That means Angie Lewis is in the house.
Oh, well, there you go.
We probably need to get ready for that. So we'll step aside, come back. Angie's got a lot of stuff to talk about, including a terrific winner of the Good Neighbor Award. I hope she's bringing her with her because she's a delightful person, one of my favorites in the city of Ocala. Let Angie tell who it is. So stay tuned to the Voice of Ocala right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports Page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports Page on WOCA, The Source.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to a panel of experts on the No More study as part of National No More Day, bringing awareness to violence and sexual assault among young people.
The Honorable Julian J. Robinson is the Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party in Jamaica. He's coming on the air to warn us about the Jamaican lottery scams that are targeting the elderly in Florida.
And then on Open for Debate, I'll bring a topic to the show and we'll debate it.
Vasula Ryden is a mystic. She's written a book called Heaven is Real, but So is Hell, an eyewitness account of what is to come.
And then Patricia R. Benjamin will be speaking to us. She's the founder of the New Jersey Reform Party. She's written a biography of Ross Perot.
Helen Moon is a professional nanny. She's appeared on the reality series Scott Bio is 46 and pregnant. She'll be speaking about her book, Cherish the First 6 Weeks.
Scott Bio is pregnant?
I know, I had to look at it again.
And then Legally Yours with your host John Fuller answering your legal questions.
And have all of your health questions answered by Dr. Riyad Fakhouri on the Head to Toe Care Show.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live.
Keep up with what's going on in the downtown area with Ocala Downtown Newspaper. Delivering thousands of newspapers to businesses in the downtown area, Ocala Downtown is there to keep you informed. They even have Tom's Picks, a free referral for people who are looking for a company to do work for them. Tom's Picks will refer the company that fits your needs, and all we ask in return is that you tell them where you heard about it. It's simple. For more info, just call Tom's Picks, 352-804-1223, and pick up your copy of the Downtown Ocala newspaper today.
Now read Ocala Downtown newspaper online.
What's up with you this weekend?
Just doing my taxes.
Doing your taxes? Go to Liberty Tax. Do you want your money fast or do you want to wait?
Fast, I guess.
That's right. And where do you get America's fastest refunds?
Liberty Tax Service.
Let Liberty Tax show you the freedom.
Find us at libertytax.com or call 866-871-1040 today to find a location near you. That's 866-871-1040.
Remember, March 11th through the 16th, veterans get their taxes done free.
Welcome back to the program. It's Tuesday. That means she's here. Angie Lewis back in the house. She's got a lot of good stuff today, including her good neighbor is one of my favorite people in the whole city of Ocala. But I'm not going to blow that by saying who it is just yet. So, Angie, how are you doing?
I am great, buddy. Good to see you all again.
Good to see you. And you're really working hard over at your house between Clint working at the coffee shop and I shouldn't say the coffee shop, the Cup, I should say.
The Cup, yes.
And you running the insurance business, and you guys say hello to each other in like two shifts a night.
Well, the last week, that's how it felt. Like, actually, I would try to stop in there at night, and you know what? I end up mopping floors. I'm like, I don't even do this at home, but I was in there mopping floors at 10:30 and 11 o'clock a couple of nights, trying to help out. But
how's this work?
It was a good first week.
Was
for
it?
The reopening,
Really?
It went really well. So,
Good.
and then this weekend will be, of course, a fun, busy work week with St. Patty's Day.
Yeah,
So-
really. I mean, the Cup
Yes.
It used to be covered with the Irish.
Yes, exactly. So there will still be a lot of Irish things going on. Irish music,
Irish food, Irish drink.
food. Yeah, so it's going to be
probably those
singing contests for people coming in, dressed in their Irish gear. So lots of things. It'll be.
Well, tell them where it's located in case they're asking.
It is in the Mary Camp Plaza, right next to the batting cages. In it's the same plaza that Church of Hope and Scramble's Restaurant. So that's usually some good focal points that people know that are there. We had someone the other day. They say they shop at. Was it Tuesday mornings?
Tuesday morning. Oh yeah.
And they happened to stumble over and they were like, we didn't even know this was here. It's in the same plaza. So
it's on the other end.
Far end.
Yeah.
Yes.
And my wife goes to that Tuesday mornings more than I'd like.
Great specialty coffees. Wonderful.
Not a Tuesday morning at the Cup.
No, at the Cup.
I thought about you last night before we got our guest because I was at a place you probably should have been in there.
I've gone to that every year. This is the first year I didn't go.
Well, your friend Crystal Fernig, who you introduced me to on this show.
Yes.
Way back when you did the show at Harry's.
Correct.
And they, of course, Journeyman Stud, she and Brent, they invited me to come out to the dinner last night.
Wonderful.
I was out at this Circle Square Cultural Center. I'd never been there before.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
That's
really
a beautiful
nice.
place.
Yeah. And the food was excellent, and the program was really good. And a lot of your friends were there.
Yes.
I sat at Crystal and Brent's table. But, until you see it on the screen and you see people talking about the thoroughbred industry, and you hear people say that I buy nothing but Florida thoroughbreds. You hear people like Bob Baffert say that I've made a good living in my life, that I would buy mostly I love your horses. You realize this is a pretty big deal,
That is why I'm so upset that I missed that. That's one of my favorite events that I've gone to the last few years in Ocala, just because the horse industry is. It's the heart almost, of Marion County, and these people put. How many hours Crystal puts in at her horse farm, and then it's just their time to really shine and show what what these Florida horses, the people that are coming in from everywhere out of the country, and they're just so impressed with the Florida horses that we're putting out here. So I think a lot of people, even though we are in the horse community, don't experience it. They don't go out and see the horse farms, and they don't get involved and see what all goes into it and the work and everything that these people do. But it's an amazing. I'm so glad you got to go because.
Speaking of shining, Crystal.
Yes.
Who's a working lady. She works at that farm.
Works in her business,
all
on her
night
business.
long, night before last with colts.
delivers
horses.
everything.
I don't get to see her sparkling very much.
Yeah.
She was sparkling last night.
Good.
She looked like $1 million, and Brent looked pretty good too.
Yes.
Well, I particularly noticed Crystal. No offense, Brent.
Yeah.
And
going back to your Dr. Buddy segment.
Yes.
They're a great couple. You can when you're around the two of them.
Yeah.
They look at each other. Usually when he'll go up, he'll get the awards, and I don't know how it was last night, but she just looks at him with all this admiration and love, and you can tell. They truly are.
Yeah. She's got
they're a great
phenomenal success story. She told me last night again about, you probably know it, how they had a job, real job, they hated it, they moved down here and became grooms.
Right.
And started doing this, doing that, and then one farm went out of business, and next time Brent was managing a farm. Now they own Journeyman Stud, and they have this great success story there of two people. And she told me a funny story about a guy who was doing a land deal. I can't repeat the whole thing, and how he's, I don't really give a, lady, whether you get this property or not, because you had a silver spoon in your mouth. Boy, imagine what she did. She came back. She had a little retort that I can't say on the air, but where that silver spoon needed to be placed, and whatever. Yeah. And but she and Brent did a great job. It was a terrific time last night. And as those things go, which are not my favorite things, because I spent my lifetime going to football banquets with awards.
Exactly.
But I will say that one was pretty well done. So Lonnie Powell and Tammy Gant did a really nice job, and I missed you there last night.
I know.
Speaking of Dr. Buddy, we got someone here who can also, we'll get a chance to get her 2 cents worth on relationships, because she's the best. But you missed it one yesterday. It was basically about relationships with everybody, not just your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend, but about friends and about other relatives and what have you, about aspects of maintenance of friendship and how important it is to be honorable and to check on people. And JJ, you remember any of them at all? You like the list, I know. But anyway, it's just an overall checklist of things you need to do in your relationships, so whether it's a spouse or a friend. And I think there is some of that sometimes we take for granted our relationships. You know, we need every now and then back up and say, wait a minute, I need to do a little better job. I forgot the birthday, or maybe I didn't call and check on them last month, or whatever.
Right.
So overall relationships are,
we get busy with our own things going on, but it's
and then there's some aspect of it, should be interrupting, is that some friendships you need to end.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought that up. We talked about this yesterday. Yes, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you have to break up with a friend, and I actually do a little group with a group of senior girls before they go away to college. We call it a day about you, and that's one of our sessions in that group is talking about choosing our friends and how sometimes you still gotta be nice, but sometimes it's okay to put some separation into unhealthy friendships. So that's a good point.
Well, there's two sides to these. The reason I know they were good because JJ liked them. One of them was that about sometimes you have to, because people will use you. Mm-hmm. You got to be known when you're being used. The other thing was, the other side of that was, sometimes people come along and you don't give them a chance. You know, they show up, you're like, you don't give them a chance to say who they are, get to know them, you kind of like blow them off and whatever. That's another aspect of it, too.
Oh, yeah. And I'm not talking, but more so I'm talking about the break with someone who you have been friends with a long time, and they may be, we've talked about this before, the negativity.
Right.
Their constant
toxic.
the Eeyore vampires in your life. That, and we've talked about relationships, like when, if you're having trouble with a marriage and then your friend comes in and all they do is talk negative about their spouse, and that tends to make you then start saying negative things, and you just got to be careful of those.
I know there have been some people that we run into, my wife and I, who have had couples who've had really bicker and fight a lot.
Yeah.
And they just can't wait to hear the story about us bickering or fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And when they don't hear it, they encourage it. Well, you did this, and you had this, and you did that, and everybody had disagreements. But there's a difference in fighting and bickering all the time and disagreeing and working things out.
Exactly.
So I think people who have problems validate their own by finding the flaws in your relationship, makes them feel better.
Right. You're exactly right.
Somebody who knows about that kind of stuff is a person who's very nice and who doesn't say no to many people, is always taken advantage of. And I think such a person is your guest today, who is a very nice person. Probably has a hard time saying no. But
that might have been mentioned in this letter that I received.
But she could guarantee you she can hold her own. Let's bring her on. You introduce her.
All right. No, I am thrilled today to announce our guest today, who was nominated by, I know of 3, but I think it's even been brought up by others. I know I've heard your name since I moved here in 2005 to receive our Good Neighbor Award. And Christy, I'll just go ahead and say it's Christy Lovell. So welcome to the show, Christy.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Well, yay! And just so you know a little bit about the Good Neighbor, how this come about, because when I called Christy, she's kind of like, what's going on? But what it is we've, for the last year, over a year now, we have asked members of the community to let us know about people that inspire them, people that just go above and beyond, and they call us or they email us or see us on the street and tell us about people that they think needs to be recognized, people who just kind of go random acts of kindness. They're not doing it to grow their business or anything like that. They just good people that others look up to, and your name has come up a lot. So
congratulations, Christy.
Well, thank you. I am very honored and humbled.
Well, and if it's okay, I'd actually like to read a little bit about...
And also mention a few people who won this award, which are pretty good.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Gerald Ergel, Tom Ingram.
Yeah, exactly.
On. We could go on from there.
Alice Cannon, who I still love as one of our youths that won the award.
Yeah.
But one of the messages that I received, well, first I got a couple of things. I got one from my hairdresser, Ashley Rogers, who had nominated Christy because she said that Christy is an example of the type of mother and wife that she wants to be. Nice. I think that's amazing. So when you get into that chair, she usually hears a lot more of the negative stuff. Really, when you talk about it, people sit down with their hairdresser and they kind of unload, and she just says that Christy always inspires her to be better. But the one here I got was talks about how she says Christy is always very involved in her church, relies heavily on her Christian faith, as always is willing to do things for her church, from the building sets, hosting Bible studies. She's very dedicated to helping others and doesn't matter if it's a close friend or a stranger. Christy is always there with open arms and takes care and does it with a positive attitude, has fun and loving nature, and is always up for an adventure. She has seen her own share of tragedy with some things that, she knows close to her, but she said in above and beyond, she remains strong in her faith despite all of that had happened, and she's true and compassionate towards those who suffer. I could go on, but it suffice to say that Christy is a kind-hearted, true blue, faith-filled, wonderful friend who is one of my favorite people. Anyone would be lucky to know her. The same goes for Bill and the boys, so we want to make sure we get that in. If you call the Lovels your friends, you are a lucky person. Then she said that you're always a family that you can count on.
25 people could have sent a letter easily. You know that?
That was that came from Heidi Horish.
Oh, wow.
Who's
yes, Heidi is my neighbor, wonderful friend, longtime friend that we, our children have grown up together, and we've maintained friendship throughout the years. Thank you, Heidi.
I know she's actually had to fly out today, but she when she and I talked, and she has shared a lot of stories, and Heidi, has had some situations in her life, a single parent and stuff, and you've been a real inspiration for her as well. So, she's one of the people who's talked about Christy a lot before I ever knew who Christy was, and then of course Lori Martin Gregory also sent me a text and just went on and on about just what a great person, and just being that friend who you don't have to call and ask. They just know, and they step in and just get involved and just always make sure everybody's being
I guess so.
taken care
Laurie
of,
and Gary lived behind their house for them for 8 months. They moved it back to Atlanta. So Christy was right there. My grandson Alexander thought for a while that was his second mother. He wasn't sure.
That was a wonderful treat to have them so close.
But we just want to thank you for everything that you do. Buddy and I have talked a lot about one of the things when I first moved to the Ocala community in 2005, that one of the things I fell in love with really was the people here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's people like yourself who make this community the great place that it is. So if you want to share anything about...
Let's take a break and let Christy kind of gather herself.
Good.
Come back and let her talk a little bit. And then I've got a story I'd like to ask her.
Oh, nice.
I'd like for her to share if she wants to share it. We'll talk about it in a break.
Yeah.
Because this program could go an hour easily. So, and of course, it'll be mostly you and I gabbing because Christy doesn't say much. We're sitting around our mouth. We'll take a break, come back with more of Christy Level, our Good Neighbor Award winner, and Angie Lewis, right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
If you missed last Friday's Community Gazette Day at Gateway Bank, you missed the first installment of the Ask the Cop Show, airing every second and fourth Friday from Gateway Bank, with your host, Buddy Martin, Chief Greg Graham of Ocala's Police Department, and Sheriff Chris Blair of Marion County Sheriff's Office joined us to talk about what steps they took for a smooth transition once they took over the leadership role of their individual police departments.
Give me a 60-second update on what's happened to the sheriff's office. Well, my first 5 weeks in there, the big thing is just looking at the organization and studying it. And we're basically looking at a lot of feedback. We're bringing retirees back to the sheriff's office, evaluators, along with some community leaders and business people to go into the sheriff's office, engage with our people there, the employees, to try to get some feedback, and so that we can look at the entire organization from a different perspective, and we'll make changes and do our organizational structure from that feedback.
And Greg, hasn't been that long ago you were doing the same thing with your department.
Yeah, I've been back a year now. January 15th is a year, and I truly believe, as does the sheriff, that the people that best know how to run the organization are the people that actually do the work in the organization. That's those men and women that are out there every day answering those calls for service, dealing with the public. So, I did the same thing. I sought a lot of input and engaged the men and women that work there, and we made some pretty significant changes and some small changes, and they've been part of the process, and it's gone really well. I'll tell you, I can't. I'm so honored to be back in Ocala, but certainly even more honored to have the opportunity to work and play with the men and women that belong to the Ocala Police Department.
Join us for Ask the Cops on the second and fourth Friday of every month, live from Gateway Bank's Community Gazette Day on the Voice of Ocala on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
Right now, somewhere in the world, there is a bear waking up from a long winter's hibernation. Scientists are not 100% sure how a bear knows winter is over, but I think I may have an explanation. Here it is. Spring comes to Florida first, so Florida gardeners get that spring fever first and head over to Kenny's Place Nursery. They go to Kenny's Place for gazanias, impatiens, geraniums, and begonias, all for 99 cents each. They also head to Kenny's Place Nursery for pansies, selling for $4 for $1. Now, that is a honey of a deal. Well, the thought of the honey reminds those gardeners of the special role pollinators, like bees, have in the garden. Now, every bear knows that where there are bees, there is honey. So, their noses wiggle, their ears twitch, and boom, the bear wakes up. And all because of a great sale at Kenny's Place Nursery. Who knew? Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a honey of a deal at Kenny's Place.
This is Don with ABC Frederick's Appliance. Here's my daughter, Lena.
And hey, everybody, it's Lena. You need to come down to ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue, where you are treated right with the right products like Whirlpool, Maytag, Crosley, and Speed Queen. These are the new ones. Don't forget, we also carry used appliances that we warranty. ABC Frederick's Appliance does repairs, too. Call us at 629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance on County Road 25, just over the railroad tracks in Bellevue. It's at 629-5181.
I don't know what JJ's playing over there, but not anything I'm familiar with. Some of that wild, crazy stuff he plays on weekends or something, whatever. What happened to the country western you were playing, JJ? You said you were a fan. Anyway, back with Chrissy Lovell, our good neighbor of the week, and Angie Lewis, and we will give her a chance to actually talk for a change since we've been yapping away. And Christy, your mom, your wife, you're a lot more. You have a lot of depth to you. You have a terrific background in architecture and what have you. Talk about your role. Didn't you get involved in the Villages way on early in your career?
Yes, actually, I did.
It's amazing thing about Christy. You just don't know all these stories.
It was a high school job that I worked in their little design department, which was Orange Blossom Gardens on the west side. The east side of 441 many, many years ago. And throughout college, they allowed me to come back and work on spring breaks and weekends, and it was a nice opportunity. So once I did graduate from college and moved out into the workplace, that door opened again. And we were able to, the company I was working for, which was Edwards Construction, we were able to go down and build the very first town center back in '93, I believe.
That's amazing. See, now this one other story you don't know about Christy.
Well, right. Well, and the only reason I've even heard a little bit, Heidi had mentioned she was so respected in a man's world or a man's business at that time, but with what she had done with the construction piece. So
talk about independent businesswomen.
Yeah.
People don't even think about. You look at Christy, you can easily underestimate Christy in terms of what. Not because she's not sharp, she is,
Right.
but she downplays herself is what she does.
Humble.
She's very humble.
Very humble.
But now you were so talented. Many people tried to get you to come back to work, and you said no. Why?
Yes. Well, I was actually in the construction industry for 21 years. A few years ago, whenever the economy started slowing down, it was just an opportunity for me to say, you know what, I've got 2 teenage boys. Maybe this is the best time to just hang out at home and enjoy those years. So that's what I have done and have just absolutely loved it. It's been the biggest blessing.
Of course, your husband Bill has his own insurance business. We should plug that, even though it's not a competitor per se, but certainly as Bill does a good job there. And of course, being a relative, he is also my insurance man, so I have to get that up front right off the bat.
Awesome, and we thank you for that.
Yeah, well, and I have to look at Bill. I mean, Bill to me is like a mentor, and he's been super sweet to me since I moved here. So I don't look at Bill as a competitor. I look at him someone in the industry that I aspire to be like. So
he's a very helpful person.
He is.
All right, I want to get to this too, and involves the church we both attend, and JJ's parents do, Church of Hope. And I experienced this without knowing this story. I just found out by going to church one day. And Christy's told this remarkable story about forgiveness and what she had to go through with, and forgiveness in the toughest of circumstances. And it wound up becoming a wall. Christy, would you mind sharing that story with us, just about what horrible thing in your life happened to you and what that did to your life and how you dealt with it?
Absolutely. Back when I was in college at the University of Florida, had a college roommate. Her name was Carla Larson. And Carla and I got to know each other very, very well throughout the years. If you know anything about architecture school, you spend many, many years in a design studio, a lot of long hours. And so you do grow very close with your friends in your design suite. Carla and I continued a friendship throughout the years because we were very unique being women in commercial construction years ago. And just absolutely maintained that friendship throughout the years because we needed each other. One day I was working at a project in Orlando and came home and just happened to turn on the news, and I saw Carla's picture that she had gone missing. By this time, my children were, I believe, 7 and 3. She had started her family. And so I immediately called her husband to find out what was going on, and Carla had not, gone back to the daycare to actually pick up her child, so I knew that something had gone wrong. And from that point on, that started the investigation to find her.
And you're thinking the worst at this point in time, or did you just feel like she was missing, or you knew her well enough to think something had to happen, right?
I knew her well enough to know that something had gone wrong, that this was just not like Carla to not be there to pick up her child from daycare. So once the investigation started, I believe it was just a couple days after that they had actually found her body. And what had happened was Carla had left the job site that she was working on. It was the Grand Floridian down at Disney that she was building. Had left the job site, gone to a Publix at noon, and was abducted. And, it's just not what you would think of, not the place or the time. A very well, traveled area out in public. And so it was just a very, very tragic story.
She was murdered and buried right there near Publix, was it?
About 2 blocks back behind Publix.
Oh,
and if any of you have heard the name Carla Larson, it may ring a bell because Sonia Larson was one of the victims of the Gainesville serial killer Danny Rawlings. And So the tragedy, it's a double tragedy to this family because they had suffered Sonia Larson's loss and then Carla Larson. It was Jim's sister and then his wife. So in a matter of few years, he had lost both of these precious people in his lives, and very tragically.
And you're thinking, no way, no how ever could anything come out of this that would be any good.
Right.
Yeah, with your grief and your bitterness.
Right.
And so I'm going to put that on the hold for a second. Take a quick break, come back, and let's tell the other, as Paul Harvey says, the rest of the story and where this got you in your life and how you're able to share this with other people and help them, which is the beautiful part of the story. Absolutely. We'll take a break, more with Christy Lovell and this person named Angie Lewis after this time out of the Voice of Ocala. 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Recently, I had a great conversation with General Manager Pat Murray on the special events at Country Club of Ocala.
We have a lot of events, special events here that are geared towards the family. Easter comes to mind. We have an Easter bunny who hops around on the driving range. We usually hide somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 eggs and turn them loose and let them go harvest the eggs. We have a great family celebration here on the 4th of July where it's a traditional cookout, if you will. And as the sun goes down, the driving range becomes alive with probably one of the better fireworks displays in the area. Breakfast with Santa is a big deal.
Country Club of Ocala, where the Easter Bunny, Santa, and all the children, large and small, are a big deal on every special occasion. For more information, call 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of the Monday Gator Report right here on The Source.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day. Whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands, at Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
Phoenix Promotional Solutions, your company supplier of banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Where you give them approved artwork by noon, the next day by 4 p.m., you pick up your banners, digital decals, yard signs, and magnetic signs. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404. That's 368-2404. Don't forget, they do vehicle wraps also. Phoenix Promotional Solutions, 368-2404.
This is Wendy and Will of Dex Imaging. By now, you might be tired of hearing us talk about Dex. So instead of us telling you how much Dex can save you on your copier costs and how we can help your office be more efficient, we thought we'd let Judy tell you.
Hi, I'm Judy, the office manager of Graper Facial Institute here in Gainesville. We operate 8 medical offices, so I was looking for a document management system that would copy, scan, print, and share documents among all of our locations, but something that was within our budget. Dex Imaging recommended a Kyocera with their Index solution. It's been amazing. This machine does everything we need it to, including a direct scan into our current electronic medical record software. Dex even trained us on how to use it. Dex has been a tremendous help in making our practice and my job more efficient.
Thanks, Judy. And remember, call Dex Imaging today for a free workflow analysis to find out how you can save 20 to 30% on your copying and document management needs, just like Graper Facial Institute. Dex Imaging, 352-224-1816. That's 224-1816.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA, Ocala.
All right, welcome back to the program. Christy Lovell's with us. She's a Good Neighbor Award winner. Angie picked for this month. And Angie, the first part of the story that Christy told about the tragedy in her life and one of her best friends being murdered. Now here's the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. Christy, tell the rest of the story after this horrible thing happened and the years passed on.
Okay, so as the years went on, my friend Carla Larson, there were court proceedings and many, many trials throughout the years, and they ultimately did find the guy that did this, and his name was John Huggins, and so we went through several trials and appeals, and it was such a public murder that...
You were at the trials somehow, weren't you?
I was at the trials. Mm-hmm. There was one in Jacksonville, Tampa. I mean, it occurred in Orlando, but it had been moved around to all these big cities. And so throughout the years of sitting through the trials and, seeing the evidence, seeing pictures, watching the little baby girl grow up. Jim and Carla at the time had a 13-month-old baby. Mm. And so she has grown up, lovingly with her dad, but without her mom. And so throughout the years, and
were you getting bitter at that point in time?
I really was. This name, John Huggins, I had just grown to really hate him.
And I don't see see that you could hate anybody, but I can understand if you did, why you would.
And sitting there too.
Yeah, that's even hard for me to say, but I really, really did, and I really struggled with that feeling because I didn't like it, and I just really wrestled with this. Why could such a wonderful person be taken from us, and so tragically?
So how much time rolled forward until you had this moment that just shook you to the foundation and you were able to go forward and share the story with other people?
Okay. Several years later, my husband and I were serving in the nursery at our church, and we had the 2-year-olds and happened to look up, and this lady was coming down the hallway with a 2-year-old, and we had gotten to know most of the children in the nursery because we had served there for many years, and this was a newcomer, and so of course we reached out as much as we could, and as she walked down the hallway, she just kind of captured my attention, and this little baby boy that she was carrying was just absolutely beautiful, had the most beautiful brown eyes, very, very captivating. And she walked up to the door, and I was greeting her, and as she was signing in, of course I asked, "What's his name?" And of course his name was John Huggins.
No relation.
No relation, but it was a name that I had just really grown to dislike over the years.
Now I'm going to have to move you forward to get it in real fast.
Okay.
As a result of that, something happened to you, and you began to realize that you had to have forgiveness in your life, correct?
Right.
And without going into the depths of that, you decided one day to get up in front of the church and tell the story.
Right.
And then did what? We had about a minute to tell that story at the wall.
Well, we did this wall, a forgiveness wall, and it says up top, "Christ forgives me, so I forgive." And it was just a wonderful time that we had in our church where I was able to share the story of forgiveness, and people in the congregation could go up and sign their name on the wall, and basically just releasing these things that were bothering them and the burden of unforgiveness that we carry.
And Angie, that wall now is on all this writing on it. It's still there, and they plan to keep it for a long time. And people still go up there and write things on it.
Mm-hmm. Sharpie markers, it's permanent.
Yeah.
I mean, what a way to take a horrible, tragic story and turn it around to a story of
another reason why Chrissy Lovell is an amazing person right there.
You are exactly right.
We're out of time, but gosh, thank you so much for coming, Christy, and thanks for being the person you are in our community. And go back home and tell Bill how lucky he is, will you?
Thank you. I will do that.
And we'll remind me in case you forget.
Okay, thank you.
Angie, another great job. And
thank you,
this is what makes it fun, doesn't it?
It does. Like I said, we have beautiful people in our community. So if anyone else would like to recommend somebody that they think needs to be, highlighted or what, showcased.
Give me your email
Let us
address.
know. Angie at angielewis.com or 352-291-2444.
We didn't get time to get in to ask Angie. We'll get to it next week.
That
Thanks,
is
Angie.
fine.
Thanks, Christy.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Buddy Martin Sports Page. Stay tuned. Around the Water Cooler right here on the Voice of Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Hi, I'm Lisa Midget with Kinetic Motion Fitness, Ocala's premier small group and personal training fitness studio. Did you know you can achieve all your fitness goals, whether that's losing weight, getting fit, or training for a personal best, all with no membership fees? Have you ever been embarrassed or intimidated at a big gym because you're not a Greek god or a size 0 supermodel? Have you ever felt like your gym would rather you not even show up? At KMF, we have a team approach that focuses on small classes and personal training, and you'll feel like family, not just another number. No more boring treadmills or endless reps. Our classes are fun, energetic, and get you the results you want. And I should know, with the help of our great trainers, I lost over 100 pounds in 8 jean sizes, and I did it using no heavy equipment and no magic pills, just fun and effective workouts. And yes, I did say fun. Come join us at KMF. Visit our website at kmfocala.com or like us on Facebook. Again, that was kmfocala.com.
Course bank approval. Vehicle purchase price fixed rate allowance offers no combined.
Are you bored, tired, and disgusted with your old car?
Hey, this is Cupid, Chris Spears from Prestige Auto Sales. I want you to love your car, so trade in the old car you hate.
Even if you're still making payments, even if you owe more than it's worth.
And I'll help you drive a nicer, newer car sooner than you ever thought possible. Plus, when you use your tax refund as a down payment, you'll get a lot nicer, newer car. So you can hook up with a car you love today.
Bad credit? Cupid got you down? Our For the People credit approval specialists are world-class matchmakers. They'll connect you with the lender most likely to approve your loan.
Hate your old car?
Dump it and fall in love with a nicer, newer car today, even if you owe more than it's worth or still making payments. Plus, turn your tax refunds into your down payment and save a lot on a car you'll love.
Hurry, this Love Fest ends when we match 57 people with a car of their dreams. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people. Visit me in Ocala or Bellevue.
Online at PrestigeSaysYes.com.
Or call 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today.
Call me crazy. Some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over expecting a different result. I think insanity is 1,000 single-sided full-color business cards for $15 or packing service for 50% off. Call me crazy. Regency Printing on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street. 789-6683. That's 789-6683. Look for the yellow signs.
Mark your calendars for Saturday, April 6th for the Francis Marion Military Academy Spring Fling at the Ocala Shrine Club on Mary Camp Road. Join the first annual Swamp Fox Chili Cook-Off and Classic Car Show. Take a chance on winning one of 5 different late model vehicles for the unbelievably low price of just $20 per ticket. Only 5,000 tickets will be sold. The proceeds benefit the Francis Marion Military Academy. Businesses, organizations, and talented individuals are invited to show off their cooking skills and to compete for the best tasting chili. Go to swampfoxevents.com for the registration directions to the Shrine Club, Car Show, Chili Cook-Off. Join our sponsors in supporting the Academy. Remember, that's Saturday, April 6th for the Francis Marion Military Academy Spring Fling at the Ocala Shrine Club on Mary Camp Road. The first annual Swamp Fox Chili Cook-Off and Classic Car Show. For more information, call Charlie at 843-7790. That's 843-7790. 843-7790. Or visit swampfoxevents.com.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted
here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday. Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today.
You're listening to WOCA News Talk 1370, Ocala's source for what's happening in today's hottest, up-to-date news and topics.
It's for mom and baby, but it may not help when it comes to kids' chances of having a healthy weight. A Russian study found no difference in the height or obesity between children who were nursed or bottle-fed once they reached age 12. New York City's appealed a judge's decision to block its first-in-the-nation ban on supersized sugary drinks. It prohibits most eateries from selling non-diet soda and other sugary beverages in portions bigger than 16 ounces. Well, it wasn't much, certainly not the big jumps that we saw last week, but your 401k probably made a little money today. Stocks wavered between small losses and gains. The Dow closed up 2 points with the slightest of gains. College is getting too expensive for more families, and schools are listening. Many liberal arts colleges are offering incentives, cash back just for applying, or a free semester if you pay for more. Black smoke at the Vatican, that means no new pope yet. The Cardinals vote again tomorrow. This is ABC News.
With over 1 million products, Grainger's your one-stop shop to help keep your facility running. And no one has more of the best brands, like Fluke. Grainger has an enormous selection of Fluke testing tools, including the VTO2 visual thermometer, a breakthrough in temperature measurement. The brands you want, the products you need, the good-looking radio guy you love to hear. Okay, I added that part. Buy your supplies smarter. Call, visit a branch, or click Grainger.com/Fluke today. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Julian with Safelite Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Only America's largest gives you the reliability of the Safelite Advantage. It's what makes us different, with over 5,000 mobile glass shops in all 50 states. So we're always nearby, and the only national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Make the safe choice.
Just ask your insurance company for Safelite or call 800-800-2727 or go to safelite.com.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the poorhouse at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
That's it. Time for Buddy Sports Page on Tuesday. This is the day. We've got a double treat for you today. Dave Pingalore, the great pinkster, who's having a big night tonight. His boy, I use that word politely and with all, sensitivity, is coming back to town. And meanwhile, we've got Tom James coming in the house to do a round the water cooler segment. You guys ready to go?
Yeah. Well, you know, I was watching that replay of them with Ping out in Los Angeles earlier this year when he was holding Channel 2 in Los Angeles at Mike for some reason. And Ping was asking Dwight all the questions. And then the sports information director for the Lakers said, David, stop badgering him or you're done. You can visibly hear that.
Yeah, it's actually not a sports information director. He's a publicist.
Well, a publicist, same thing.
College of sports information.
Right. But do you think because of that incident that they could they deny David access to the locker room tonight?
No.
They can't deny because the reporters have to go where where the players come in for after game interviews.
No,
he's the boss there.
No, I mean the bottom line is
the visitors can deny people from their locker room.
But I mean that would go to the league office.
Oh, okay.
If you start trying to do that in the pro level, you start trying to say select who you want to come ask questions. There's fines involved. You can't do that. It just can't. I mean, you may not like the questions, didn't have to answer them. But, it wasn't like he was attacking him. He was aggressively questioning him. There's no question about it.
Right.
And, and Ping was being a little bit of a nuisance. And I understand that, but that's his job. Trying to get a straight answer out of the guy. Now, I saw the interview today in Orlando when Dwight showed up. Talked about, he was actually pretty civil, fairly humble, and sort of answered the questions, but really didn't. And I didn't see Ping there. If he was there, he got shut out with a microphone because I didn't see any questions asked by Ping. I don't know that he necessarily needed to be there today to be antagonistic because, it's like Dwight Howard waved the white flag today. Pretty much said, I love this city. And
he apologized.
He apologized again, and, he was I can't find any fault with what he did today. Now, he said he's changed. He said he's learned his lesson. He's changed. He apologized. Now, at this point, you guys asked me yesterday. Both of you said, well, I'm not going to cut the guy any slack. Forgive him. And I said, let's wait and see. And based on what I saw today, I got to say I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt.
Did you watch Channel 6 last night?
No.
Ping cut the young man no slack last night.
Well, that's all right. On his show, that's fine. And in fact, it's all right if he does. But today on ESPN, I saw the replay of the interview with Howard and what Howard said. I mean, I think his comportment was very good. And do I like the fact that he dissed my friend? No, I don't. But I mean, from my standpoint, I'm ready to move forward with it. Let's see what happens.
Mike Bianchi wrote a column this morning that I read, Bianchi of the Orlando Sentinel, that he thinks the Orlando fans should grow up, get over this pettiness, and give the man a standing ovation for all he gave to Orlando for the 8 years he was there.
They're fans. They're fans.
I know it's not going to happen.
Okay, Mike knows better. Fans.
It's short for fanatic.
Yeah, and just remember this, really, to be honest with you, I like the fact that he addressed the fans and thanked them, but most of the athletes would care less about the fans.
Well, remember now, everybody, and I didn't think about this till this morning. I was listening to Bianchi talk. Remember, we're all over this guy for how he acted, but remember, he really does love the city of Orlando. Maybe the end of it wasn't very well, but that's where he became, that's where he grew up from a high school senior to a man.
He said that. I came as a boy and came out as a man, and he pointed out, I remember now looking back, we had packed houses, and they did pack the house back in those days. He said we did some good things, Jameer and I, whatever. So, I mean, look, I'm not ready just to write him a check and say, you're okay, fine, go forward. But let's just say at this point, this chapter, I give him a little credit for what he's done. All you can ask for somebody to come forward and be honest and straightforward and admit his wrong and apologize, and that's what he did.
Well, my question, and this is, I'm sure, a question a lot of people are asking, is it because Dwight Howard really means it, or because somebody in the publicity department said this is what you're going to say?
No, he didn't do it. But anyway, let's save that for the Round the Water Cooler segment. Let's get to the headlines. A lot of news today in the NFL. JJ, stuff happening. The deadline has come now for free agency.
Free agency started today, buddy.
Yeah.
So there's talks out there that the Dolphins might sign a 5-year deal with Mike Wallace.
Terrific player.
Wide out from Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Gonzalez tells the Falcons he will come back in 2013. Yes. Not really that huge of a surprise.
Let's discuss that during the Round the Water Cooler segment. Do you think it's a right thing or wrong thing for Tony Gonzalez?
One of the players for the Eagles.
Asamoah.
Yeah, but what do they say? Dream Team. A couple years ago, Asamoah, they signed from the Raiders not too long ago, was released today, has a huge contract. The Bills cut Ryan Fitzpatrick, who has a $60 million contract.
JJ actually did a backflip when he heard that, folks. Yeah. He literally, in the studio here, did a backflip.
And the Titans agreed to deals with Adam Levitre, a lineman formerly of the Buffalo Bills, and former San Francisco tight end Delaney Walker. A lot of stuff.
Can I ask you this, though, the two of you here? How much of an insult did the Jets once again deliver to Tim Tebow by signing David Garrard and say he would be competing with Mark Sanchez for the job? David Garrard, who hasn't taken a snap in 2 years.
So we knew that was going to happen, and that's
how insulting is that?
That's just pretty clear what's going on there. So But nonetheless, yeah. So, JJ, you're happy with Fitzpatrick and being gone, and there's obviously changes. So let's do this. Let's save the rest of our commentary till we get our man in the house here. Dave Pingelow is coming on. We'll talk to him about Dwight Howard, and we'll get Tom James's take on the deals. I still can't get over the Anquan Bolden deal. It still got me kind of stunned. I'll tell you something. The Steelers letting Wallace go is a big mistake.
Wallace, isn't it? I don't think he's that great.
Oh, you kidding me?
Are you
kidding me? Are you kidding me? No. He's got great speed.
He wants so much money, man.
Well, you know what? He can get it, and because he's a terrific player.
He couldn't get it from Pittsburgh.
Well, I know, but I think they're going to make a mistake. I think they're going to find out. Big Ben's going to have a little different situation on his hands without Wallace because
he
had
the deep 10 threat. Touchdowns last year.
He's a terrific player.
That's a bunch for a wide receiver.
I think he'll be a great Dolphin. So
8 touchdowns in 2011.
Yeah, he had 10 last year.
So that's pretty good, I'd say. Considering
he's had 18 in the last 2 seasons.
And Roethlisberger
that's pretty good.
Hasn't been at his best either at that point in time. So, all right, anyway, that's some of the topics we will address. Also, the coach of the year. We'll talk more about Tim Ryan, and we'll discuss that situation. All coming up with our friend Tom James and our buddy Dave Pingelow. Stay tuned for more right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com. The Source.
Every day we hear another story about innovation or about cutting-edge technology taking place right here in Ocala. The power plant, IHMC, Ocala 489. Did you know that important medical research is also being conducted here that may impact hundreds of thousands of people in the country someday? Maybe you've heard the name Renstar, but like so many others, perhaps you didn't realize that Renstar Medical Research is one of the top facilities of its kind anywhere in the U.S. There are important research studies being conducted by a highly qualified team of medical experts at Renstar, impacting decisions of major pharmaceutical companies and bringing new drugs to market. And you can be a part of these studies, as so many local people have done and are currently doing. Renstar has conducted more than 500 studies since its inception and would like to extend the opportunity to you to be a part of these cutting-edge programs. Call 877-629-5800 or 352-629-5800 if you'd like to know more. Renstar Medical Research, locally owned and operated in beautiful downtown Ocala. Renstar, seeking tomorrow's answers to the health questions of today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on the Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on. Call your good neighbor's State Farm agent today, Angie Lewis, at 294-2444.
Hi, I'm Tom Ingram, CEO of Gateway Bank, inviting you to drop by our main office on Silver Springs Boulevard every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. for the Community Gazette, a 3-hour show focusing on our favorite community to live and work, Ocala, Marion County. Come join us with the voice of Ocala, Buddy Martin, in the new old-fashioned bank radio studio as we discuss a variety of interesting topics on the Community Gazette on WOCA The Source.
If you want to avoid getting ripped off and put more money in your pocket, then join me, Clark Howard, every weeknight at 6, right here on WOCA The Source.
Don't get caught in the dark. Call Tri-County Generators, LLC first at 1-800-622-1957, your authorized Generac dealer. Tri-County Generators are there when you need them with new generators for home standby, commercial, RV, and portable generators. They also service your existing systems. Now is the time to act. Be prepared before you have an emergency. Call Mike Gant today at 1-800-622-1957. That's 1-800-622-1957 for Tri-County Generators.
As a business owner, nothing compares to the sense of pride you feel when unlocking your business first thing in the morning. In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if the business down the street has the same insurance you do. What matters is that your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them have you covered. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call George Mangan Insurance in Ocala today at 352-732-3191.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're ocalaforsale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to ocalaforsale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
Hi, I'm Ernie Sprantz. Join me weekday mornings at 10:50 for Report to Consumers. Consumer news you can use from your hometown station. News Talk 1370, WOCA.
If it happens in Ocala, you'll hear it first on WOCA. News Talk 1370.
All right, coming up around the water cooler just a moment. One thing that's looks kind of positive, Tom points out, that we like. It's questionable whether, in fact, it's going to hold up because you know how money talks. But the national championship game coming up apparently is not going to have a title sponsor.
I'm okay with that.
Not because they can't get one, but because apparently they don't want one. Now, what in the world would cause them to do this? You'd like to think their motives were pure, that they did it to make a statement, that that they felt like they didn't need to have a title sponsor. Now, the rest of the games, the bowl games, and naturally will have a sponsor, the ones that are the semifinal games. But apparently the conference commissioners have gotten together and said, you know what? We're not going to have a sponsored title game. Well, this is the first question for our group here around the water cooler as Tom James joins us. Is this for real? Are their motives pure, or is there another shoe to drop? I'll let Tom Schmitz, you go first.
I think that what Bill Hancock, the executive director of the conference commissioners and college administrators that are overseeing this, I like what he said. He said it won't be the Vizio Championship Tournament using the Rose Bowl title sponsor as an example, according to an article by Ivan Mazel of ESPN. He said, he gave examples. The Final Four doesn't have one. The Masters doesn't have a sponsor. The Super Bowl doesn't have a sponsor. And that's the kind of event we have. It doesn't need a sponsor. It'll stand on its own. I applaud the NCAA. Finally, for once in a long, long time, I think this is correct and without a doubt the right move.
Well, I mean, the conference presidents are supposedly have a big voice in this too, but because they are the NCAA in effect. But Tom James just joins us. How you doing, Tom?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
I know we hit you with this cold. You want JJ to go and you come back to what you think it over?
I've got a little something on this, and I think there's one of two possibilities. One is they're holding out for a little bit more money for somebody to come along and say, hey, but what if I give you this much? Will you name it after us? And number two, whether they have the name of the game sponsored. Obviously they'll have plenty of sponsors to go around, but I'm not so sure that first argument might not be the one.
Well, you've been in sales before. You know that side of it. It could still be the College Football National Championship presented by Vizio,
which is the way the Rose Bowl has done it with the sponsor on the back side of the name instead of the sponsor up on the front side.
And you got to. There's just so much money involved. We know money talks. And so I'm like you. I think there's another shoe to drop on that. So let's go to JJ and get his comments.
Yeah, I was saying the same thing. I think it's eventually going to have a name.
Well, remember, gentlemen, they don't have to have a sponsor, a name sponsor on it. If it becomes the game we think it's going to become, remember, the Super Bowl gets $4 million a 30-second commercial. This game, I guarantee you 30-second commercials in this game from the very beginning will go at $1.5 to $2 million for 30 seconds.
I don't know about that, but it'll go high.
The Super Bowl doesn't have to change its name, so maybe there's hope. We'll see. I still think it's going to be like City national title game or Enron, whatever.
Yeah, like you said, buddy.
I don't think Enron would be a good name.
Their purposes here are not completely moral. I just think that they're not going. It's not like they're turning down money here to keep the name pure. It's going to come from somewhere else.
Are you going to tell me
that
someone writes a check for $30 million? They'll say no, thank you. I don't think so.
Well, if they do it the way the people that they listed, the Masters, the Super Bowl, and the Final Four, the Masters doesn't turn down the $30 million from IBM. They just say the Masters brought to you with few commercials by IBM. It's not the IBM Masters. They just make you know the reason that you only see 2 minutes of commercials an hour is because IBM's a very good contributor.
Let me just say this: there is no other Masters. Okay. The people who call the shots on that are not the guys at CBS. The guys in the green jackets make those decisions.
Well, and we know that because
that's never going to be given. That power will never be given to any other sports organization in the world again.
Yeah.
Period. But because they can, like they went one year with no sponsors.
Yeah, but they penned a check for $32 million to CBS and said, "Run it commercial free."
Well, that's what I'm just saying.
I know.
I'm saying the guys in the green jackets did.
You don't believe
they got
the
the clout to
NCAA,
do
if they
that.
wanted to, could do that?
No.
You don't think the NCAA
No.
can go to CBS and say, "Here's $40 million, run it without any commercials"?
No, they cannot do that because, number one, the presidents wouldn't agree to doing it. They wouldn't do it. They don't really care where the money comes from or if it's sponsored or not. Their hearts may be pure, but they want the check.
No, I understand
And the people at Augusta, they don't need to worry about that. They're not supporting anybody else. It's just their club. So they can do this. They've been given that power. It will never happen again in sports, period. And certainly the NCAA is not going to stroke a check for $30 million when they can get a check for $30 million.
Thank you.
No, I understand that, but I think if the NCAA wants to make this the prestigious game they're trying to make it, they won't take the money on the front end. They'll take it in the 30-second TV commercials during the game and make it that way, just as the Super Bowl does. Because this is going to be the NCAA wants this to rival the Super Bowl and championship.
In all due respect to you, my friend, you're dreaming, okay? It's not going to happen.
It will not have a title on it. Mark it down.
Well, regardless, maybe not a title, but they're going to find a way to get the money.
No, that's
okay?
I'm saying that.
But their idea that they're going to write a check to them, that ain't going to happen.
But they also now have 3 games that
are
finally
sponsored.
supposedly count.
Right.
That will be sponsored instead of just
the
the one.
semifinal games will be sponsored. The semifinal games, they said, will keep the names like the football tournament semifinal at the Discover Orange Bowl.
There's also, by the way, the umbrella of the whole series, which is the semifinal games and the title games, which could carry yet another sponsor, Capital One Championship Weeks. Okay,
if it can be sponsored, it will be.
Yeah, I mean, no, championship.
Capital One Championship Week.
I mean, there's all kind of ways. Tom, you used to do this for a living. You know how those little games are played.
Yeah, there's many ways that they're played, but
I think the NCAA will use the NFL model and get the money through commercials, not through a named sponsor of the game. That's my opinion.
Okay.
And or both.
Okay. I think we've kind of semi-agreed on that a little bit, although I think Tom Schmitz has a little different perspective. All right, we will let's move on to a little hoop. FGCU going to the dance.
How about
the voice
that?
of the Eagles.
4 years after varsity basketball.
How pumped up
They
are you,
beat the
Tom?
U this year. I mean, they're obviously
they
a team
beat
to
the
watch. I actually
Canes.
watched the game.
It wasn't a fluke.
I mean, and a 16 seed. Good for you. Way to be up there in the rankings.
Well, I'm actually more leaning towards them probably being a
14.
15 seed.
They can play.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to tell whether they're
16.
going to.
Wait a minute now. But what is it? It's not a play-in game.
No, it's not a play-in game.
So he could.
Or they might go to.
It depends.
Based on beating Miami, they could beat.
Oh
you know,
yeah.
they could,
Based on beating Miami, they shouldn't be in a play.
who else they beat, Tom?
Miami has been the big one.
Who else?
for
What's
sure.
our other biggest win?
Their second biggest win after Miami was a conference win.
Which was
So
what?
it would have been Mercer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's the top team in that conference.
Okay, yeah.
This is a conference, by the way, that just lost Belmont last year and replaced Belmont with Northern Kentucky. Okay, so things got a little bit easier by getting Goliath out of the
Belmont's
conference,
good.
which is Belmont, which we've seen for many, many years. So it did open up things just a little bit. But This is a situation where the NCAA doesn't really care where they send the bottom, the 15s and your 16s. They could wind up in Dayton. They can wind up in another spot as a 16 seed. So it's pretty impressive. They're pretty proud of themselves down there. It's the second year of being full-fledged Division I, where they're actually eligible for postseason play, and they get in all the way.
Well, you're inside that program. Excuse me, Tom. You're inside that program. You watched it. You did the play-by-play. For those who don't know, Tom has done the TV webcast for 3 years, whatever it is.
3 years.
3 years, and you know that program well. How excited are they?
Over the moon. And I think they're a little surprised, actually, that it has happened this quick. Here was a situation the year before last. They fired their original coach to really get a guy in to take them to the next level. And the final two guys in the hiring process, Andy Enfield, who got the job, beat out Richard Pitino, who was 28 years old and ended up at FIU. Okay, so Richard Pitino loses in his conference final, doesn't make the tournament. Andy Enfield, in just his second year, rebuilds this program and gets them to the tournament. So the guy who's feeling as good as anybody is the athletic director for his decision-making. So
13-5 in the conference, 24-10 overall, in a conference that includes Mercer, Stetson, JU, who has been to the Final Four back in the early 70s.
Lost to UCLA.
USC Upstate, Northern Kentucky, East Tennessee State University in Johnson City, Tennessee.
Spurrier's
University
hometown.
of North Florida, Lipscomb University, and Kennesaw State College in Atlanta.
We've seen East Tennessee State be a tournament regular on and off for several decades.
Right.
So they've been a little bit down the last couple of years.
They were in the Southern Conference with us, and we're always a perennial. Them and Davidson. And Davidson, by the way, made the tournament too.
All right, so who real quick, on the profile of the team, is there one player we should know about?
I would say Bernard.
Point guard.
Brett Comer, who's
He's
from
awesome.
Winter Park High School in Orlando. And he was the MVP of the Atlantic Sun tournament.
Well, he must be pretty good. He must have shut Larkin down.
Well, he played with Seth.
Did he?
I'm guessing.
He was high school teammates at Winter Park High with Seth Curry, who went to Duke. Brett Comer came to FGCU. He was his A game is absolutely outstanding. He gets a little out of control sometimes. Bernard Thompson, another guard, and Sherwood Brown, who is the conference MVP for the season. Those are your guys.
For those who don't know, it's in Fort Myers, just in case.
Yes.
But, by the way, in a funny side note, the first team to punch its ticket to the NCAA tournament is now ranked 25th in the most recent College Insider mid-major poll.
Yeah, the mid-major poll, which most people don't even know exists, right?
That's a new one for me, a mid-major poll.
Let me just add one final question to this, is that does the announce crew that announces FGCU basketball during the year get to travel to the NCAA tournament?
I thought you would have known that by now.
Here, we usually find this out, 12 to 24 hours beforehand, but here's how the decision-making happens.
They're counting the money up, saying, okay, does the vice chancellor go? Or
will he work for a candy bar? This is a young
depends. If it's a Baby Ruth, maybe
right 14-year-old university that doesn't have generations of deep pockets. They pinch every penny possible.
Sure.
And when you've got a network who will cover this over the radio and over television, they're
you're not
pinching
going,
pennies.
what you're saying.
We won't know this till late this week. We
knows?
can keep our fingers crossed, but it's probably 50-50 right now.
We're all Eagles fans here, by the way, so we'll be rooting for you.
I'm definitely an Eagles fan.
I got $1 to give you if you want to afford your fund. If you want to go, I'll donate $1.
Yeah, JJ's not an Eagles fan, by the way.
Miami.
But I'm looking at this.
Should be respect, man. Respect for him,
We'll
JJ.
pay to broadcast.
I respect them, but I'm not cheering for them.
I'm looking at this mid-majors top 25. How in the world is Gonzaga number one in this, being their number one overall?
Mid-major just so happens to be number one in both.
Gonzaga, St.
there's
Mary's, and
little
then
props right
Belmont and
there for
Creighton.
Well, there you go. I mean, you laugh at some of these programs, but hey, you listen. Never know. I mean, it's happened. We've had teams that have
We've seen Butler get to the title game 2 years in a row.
George Mason in Final Four one year.
VCU, George Mason.
Yeah.
Butler and
Xavier's been good for many, many years. We've seen the Missouri Valley teams.
They're not considered. The Missouri Valley is no longer considered a mid-major. They talked about that on ESPN last night. So the Missouri Valley is no longer considered a mid-major conference.
All right, one more subject before we switch and go to break here. We're looking for Dave Ping. We'll go to get in touch with him. The news today that Tim Ryan's Coach of the Year again. I mean, another great thing for Tim Ryan and of course the Patriots going to the championship round, and maybe who knows how far they'll get in Hutchinson, Kansas. But they've set wins for records and records for wins and winning percentage, and the first school in the Mid-Florida Conference to win 3 straight conference championships in conference history. So this guy can
it's
coach.
great that he's at CF and all, but he needs to go get paid.
Well, that's the question: is how good is this guy, and will it mean that after 8 seasons and 8 seasons of going to the tournament, is he going to be snapped up by somebody?
He should.
He can be somewhat choosy, I think. I mean, what is he, 7 or 8 straight 21 seasons plus at CF?
But when you ask him, he says CF is exactly where he wants to be.
He likes to be a
no better spot in the world.
Big fish in a small pond.
He thinks this is the number one place for what we call JUCO college basketball in America. He thinks that. He believes that.
Well, it's funny because Florida Gulf Coast head coach Andy Enfield texted me to tell Tim Ryan congratulations for winning the state title. So maybe there could be some back and forth there coming down the road.
He is a really good basketball coach, a smart guy, and a guy that I'm really happy for him.
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't leave because he's brought a lot of glory to CF, and I know that Jim Henderson, they have – don't have deep pockets out there either, but here's a guy committed himself to the community, the school, the program, and I'm just really happy for him. I really am. I think it's a great story.
As a graduate, it certainly makes me proud that their program is so good these days.
There you go. It's fun. So I hope next year that this station will be carrying CF basketball, and that somebody in this group, I don't know who, maybe JJ will do play-by-play. I don't know, just saying. If anybody has the experience in that along those lines.
You're up to it.
So, JJ's right, though. He needs to go get paid.
No. Well, hey, we'd be happy.
The coach or JJ?
Both.
Hey, both of them. Maybe we all should go get paid.
ESPN hollered at me earlier. I told him, I like what we got.
You're holding out,
Yeah, you think it's the best place
holding out
in America
for more sponsorship.
The best place in America for this program is right here, right? So, all right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll check back with Ping again, and you guys think about this. What is going on in the National Football League? All kinds of stuff shaking and baking, including one Wild League veteran who retired and now is coming back, apparently. We'll tell you about that. Also talk more about Dwight Howard tonight. Big game. We'll go over and under points and rebounds tonight, what he might do against his old team. All coming your way right here on the Voice of Ocala Buddy Sports page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com.
The Source.
Hi, this is Tom Schmitz, the host of Buddy's Saturday Sports page on WOCA. The Saturday Sports page is your weekend destination for everything sports, from NASCAR to golf, baseball to boxing, and of course the best, most comprehensive football coverage on the radio. Also, you don't want to miss my weekly Are You Kidding Me rant? So join me and JJ LaSalva every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. for Buddy's Saturday Sports page on WOCA, The Source.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, it's our business to make your business better. Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today. Hi, this is Buddy Martin. I want to tell you about a conversation I had recently with General Manager Pat Murray on the great family atmosphere at Country Club of Ocala.
It's a family-first club. Again, we have any number of different types of memberships, but obviously the one that attracts the greatest level of interest is our family. And the reason for that is we have a little bit of something for everybody. I mean, we obviously have a world-class golf course. We have 7 tennis courts here for all levels of tennis players. We have a junior Olympic-sized swimming pool. We have a fitness center that's second to none, and we have state-of-the-art equipment in our fitness center.
Country Club of Ocala, where the facilities are all a family would ever need. For more information, call today at 352-237-6644. That's 352-237-6644. Country Club of Ocala, proud sponsor of Monday's Gator Report and Gator Talk Thursday right here on The Source.
The sound of the bat cracking, the crowd cheering, the smell of overpriced but tasty hot dogs, the memories that will last a lifetime of your first baseball game with Little Johnny. Your team wins. It was a great night until you get home. It's 9 p.m. and your wife says you have no water.
We have no water.
What do you do?
What do you do?
Rule number 1, don't panic. Remain calm. Okay, that's 2 rules.
We don't have time for jokes, funny man.
Okay, think back. On the way home, you heard a radio commercial.
Mike's Got Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Eureka! You saved the day. You remembered that Mike Scott Plumbing doesn't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. You are a genius.
Hey, Mr. Genius, did you remember the phone number?
Of course you did. Remember, you're a genius. 352-237-2888. Because at Mike Scott Plumbing, if water runs through it, we do it. Even if water's not running through it at this particular moment. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Married men are more likely to keep up with routine doctor's visits than bachelors. Their cancer was detected earlier, so they were 35% more likely to survive. The longer we commute, the more stress we have in our bodies, the higher our body mass index, and the more strain it puts on our relationships. People learn more effectively when they break up their lessons over several short sessions rather than one long cramming marathon.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Right now, somewhere in the world, there is a bear waking up from a long winter's hibernation. Scientists are not 100% sure how a bear knows winter is over, but I think I may have an explanation. Here it is. Spring comes to Florida first, so Florida gardeners get that spring fever first and head over to Kenny's Place Nursery. They go to Kenny's Place for gazanias, impatiens, geraniums, and begonias, all for 99 cents each. They also head to Kenny's Place Nursery for pansies, selling for $4 for $1. Now, that is a honey of a deal. Well, the thought of the honey reminds those gardeners of the special role pollinators like bees have in the garden. Now, every bear knows that where there are bees, there is honey. So, their noses wiggle, their ears twitch, and boom, the bear wakes up. And all because of a great sale at Kenny's Place Nursery. Who knew? Kenny's Place Nursery is located at 7677 Southeast 41st Court in Ocala. Give them a call at 867-1213. It's a honey of a deal at Kenny's Place.
All right, we're going to go live right to Dave Pingalore in Orlando. He's got the big game tonight. He's only got a couple of minutes to share. Dave, your friend's back in town.
Well, say that again, buddy.
I said your friend is back in Orlando.
Oh, my friend. Oh, yeah. I caught up with him. We hugged. We didn't really make up there. He answered some of my questions. And everything was okay.
All right. I saw the interview on ESPN. I didn't know if you were in that crowd or not. What did you ask him?
I was. Oh, yeah.
What did you ask him?
I just asked him, was he anxious, nervous tonight to appear in front of this potential hostile crowd? And he said, it is what it's going to be, so didn't really think too much about it. Was glad to be back in Orlando, slept in his own bed last night. So he seemed to be in pretty good spirits. We'll see how the fans react tonight here in Orlando.
All right. I know your friend Mike Bianchi is calling for a standing ovation. What do you think about that idea?
That's a joke. Listen, Bianchi. Bianchi only says that to create a stir for himself. You know how that goes.
Mike.
Really? Listen, you're talking about the king of stir. You're talking about the guy that created stirring it up in the media. Right? I know what he's doing. That's
Mikey
funny.
B.
It is funny.
Yeah. And now let me ask you one more question because I know you're really jammed. I'm going to let you go. What did you hear any sincerity in his voice as he was talking?
I didn't hear anything like that. Did he say that again? I got me here in the arena.
Yeah, I hear you in the arena. I know. I mean, what we're saying here is that we say he did apologize. He said he loves Orlando. He says he's a different person. Did you hear any sincerity in that statement?
No, I don't. I think it's just PR machine at work. I think he's, you just don't change overnight, as you know, and I don't, in life. So I think he just said that just to say that. I don't think anything is different. He's been on a, roller coaster the last 2 days trying to diffuse certain things he said and retracted some things. I think he is who he is, and he will always be who he is. He's still an immature kid.
David, final question. Do you think that was orchestrated by somebody else, or was that Dwight's way of playing a little trick on us?
I think it was orchestrated, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. Well, listen, I'll let you get back to your work, and we're watching tonight on Local 6, and I'm sure it'll be interesting for sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks, David.
That's it.
David Pingalore is under the gun. You can hear him. He's at the arena. He's got a lot of stuff going on there, and it's obviously a big story for him right now. As the guy who was
Magic game worth watching, really, this whole season.
No, yeah, but I mean the game itself not so much, but certainly because of being. And I still go with the fact that I'm going to give the guy an opportunity to prove that he's right or wrong. I'm not saying I forgive him for what he did to Ping, who's our buddy, for sure. But I'm probably the most liberal of the bunch here in terms of what the guy says he's sorry, and he apologizes, and he acts like he's sorry. I say, okay, I give him the benefit of the doubt. You guys aren't so much. Tom, you hadn't weighed in, Tom James.
I think the more he says that, it just makes that portion of the interview go a little bit quicker, so that he can move on to another topic. I don't know about you guys, but I don't really think he cares. I really don't.
All right, guys, you want to read?
Play is nice to get it to move on, move it forward.
I don't buy that. I just think it's something to say.
Do you give any room for doubt there?
For doubt?
Do you give the possibility that maybe he could possibly be sincere?
Yeah, he could be. I mean, he likes the city, so what? He still treated his organization that he worked for like crap, And they're the ones who drafted him. They're the ones who paid him. His teammates, he has something to say about them like 3 days ago. Still, he's a jerk.
My question is, has he called Shaquille O'Neal before this trip? Here's a guy who has done the exact same trip that Dwight Howard is now doing.
Mm-hmm. I think it's much to do about nothing. He's already in L.A. It's over. It's just a basketball game of many that he's going to play this season. It has to be a media circus because it's his first trip back, but it's a media circus only for the media, not for him. He's there just to play basketball, and he's going to go back to L.A. and talk about how nice it was to sleep in his own bed while his buddies had to be holed up in the Hilton or the Westin or something.
Pretty much what he said on the interview today.
Exactly.
And help get the Lakers to at least the Western Conference Finals. Is that what you're trying to say?
Let me tell you something.
Tom James, now you're the one I have doubt about that.
Let me tell you something.
The Lakers look great.
The Lakers.
They're not going to go to the Western Conference Finals. I can tell you that.
The way the Lakers have played in the last 2 weeks, I wouldn't want to play them.
Yeah.
Well, they would have to play San Antonio or OKC first.
Yeah, it's also a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah. So once everybody's healthy for the first time, which we still haven't had.
No.
Kobe's getting older, though. He gets banged up a little bit. It may not be that way. It's a long road.
Best thing happened to the Lakers, Gasol is not in the lineup. That put a cohesion. They're playing more like a team with Gasol out than they ever did with him healthy. When he comes back, if I was the head coach, I'd tell an assistant, go over there and stomp on his hand while he's stretching. Break his hand. Set him out again.
Have we ever talked about a number 8 seed day in and day out through a season more than we've talked about the Lakers this year?
They're going to end up a 7 seed, maybe even a 6 seed.
No.
Yeah, they will. Watch.
I don't think so. Anyway, let's just say that we went from saying they weren't going to make the playoffs, now they're going to be 7 seeds. That's how far we
win the
got.
Western Conference.
Yeah, they're not winning the Western Conference Final.
I mean, some of us said that, but anyway.
Oklahoma
All right,
City.
real quick on this before we get too far off the subject. Dwight Howard tonight, over under points and rebounds. I got 20 and 12.
Ooh, I like that. I say over. I think he's going to destroy the
Magic. More than 20 and 12?
Oh,
yes.
I don't know about 12, but more than 20 for sure.
Did you see what Kobe said when they asked Kobe?
Well, answer the answer question.
I'm going to. This is part of my answer. When they said, Dwight says it's going to be an emotional, Kobe said, emotional? Just go out there and kick their ass and be done with it. Right. And that's what he's going to do.
Kobe's never been long on emotion.
Kobe's going to go out of his way to feed Dwight Howard tonight. Dwight Howard's going to get more than 20 points, and he's going to be ugly with the rebounds he pulls down.
Yeah,
I think he might do 15 to 16 rebounds. But
I would jack the point total up maybe 5 and maybe the rebounding total up about 3.
25 and 15, huh?
Yeah, let's go.
That'd be good.
Watch him lay an egg and the Lakers lose by 25.
Well, Orlando, the last time Orlando had a game that really, people were, the news media was keyed in on was a week ago with Miami with their streak, and Orlando played the game of the season so far and almost won that basketball game.
They should have won.
Final thoughts. Here we go on this segment. Tony Gonzalez going back to the Falcons after quitting. Good decision, bad decision. Tom James?
I'd like to see his bank account. Is that an underlying reason as to why he might be doing this? But if he can still play and he feels like he's in good enough shape to do it, hey,
because say he might have been the best of them all ever, perhaps.
At tight end.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, tight end.
He was 5th overall in catches by a receiver last year in the NFL. That's wide receivers, tight ends, everybody included.
I mean, we're all talking about players' safety all the time. Okay, well, maybe you shouldn't play until you're like 40, whatever you are.
But remember, he hasn't played. He hasn't played as long as you're thinking he has. Even though his age says he has, he didn't play college football. That was 4 years of football he didn't put on his body that other people put.
Sometimes you got to just.
That makes a good point about the wear and tear on your brain.
Like Junior Seau played a lot longer than he probably.
But Junior Seau also played 4 years of college football too. Tony Gonzalez didn't take that 4 years of beating at all.
He's still getting whooped every Sunday.
Yeah, but he's
getting beat in the head.
But 17 years of what he's played. If another player plays 15 years in the league and 4 years in college, there's still 2 years more. Like Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis played 25 years of football counting college. Well, no, he had 18 years, so 22 years of football counting college and pros.
All right, so what's our answer? Should he come back or not?
Yes. I just wish he would shut up about retiring.
That's my problem. And I'm a
but that's not the question. Should he come back or not?
Yeah, he's still on top of his game.
Okay, Tom James.
Yeah, for the same reason.
Tom,
I'm a Falcons fan. Just shut up and play, but I'm glad you're back.
But what's the answer?
But I'm
yes
glad
or
you're
no?
Back. Yeah, I'm glad he's back.
Okay, well, just give me yes or no.
I did. I gave it to you 3 times. You just wouldn't listen.
No, you didn't say yes or no.
No, I said, I'm glad he's back.
That's not the answer. I'll say yes. We'll go on from there.
We'll
take a break. We'll come back after this timeout. We'll address the issue on have the Gators lost their mojo, and if they have, can they get it back? All right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, streaming live at WOCA.com.
The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Relations got you down. Are you at your wit's end? Does the opposite sex just confuse you? Then I've got the solution for you, Dr. Buddy.
Well, let me just tell you what you slugs are doing wrong. Remember, dummy, it's about the chase and the romantic interludes, okay? Now, here's the difference. Instead of dinner and a movie, which seems obsolete these days, they have this random phone text, Facebook post, instant message, and quote-unquote non-dates. Traditional courtship, which is still what women want, guys. Picking up a telephone, asking someone on a date, maybe even going as far to pick them up in your car, requires courage, strategic planning, and a considerable investment in ego.
So now you know where to tune in to get all your relationship advice. It's the Dr. Buddy Show every Monday on the Voice of Ocala. You can succeed only on 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Alice? Yes, George?
Did you know I'm a truck driver now?
What?
I called Devon Self-Storage at 873-0777, and John and Mike now have a moving truck.
Are you cleaning out the garage?
Well, I do have time because Devon Self-Storage is open late, and they're right across from Hobby Lobby on 200.
You better call them first and reserve the truck.
Why?
So I'll know when there's room for the car.
Yes, Alice, yes.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to a panel of experts on the No More study as part of National No More Day, bringing awareness to violence and sexual assault among young people.
The Honorable Julian J. Robinson is the Deputy General Secretary of the People's National Party in Jamaica. He's coming on the air to warn us about the Jamaican lottery scams that are targeting the elderly in Florida.
And then on Open for Debate, I'll bring a topic to the show and we'll debate it.
Vasula Ryden is a mystic. She's written a book called Heaven is Real, but So is Hell, and eyewitness account of what is to come.
And then Patricia R. Benjamin will be speaking to us. She's the founder of the New Jersey Reform Party. She's written a biography of Ross Perot.
Helen Moon is a professional nanny. She's appeared on the reality series Scott Bio is 46 and pregnant. She'll be speaking about her book, Cherish the First 6 Weeks.
Scott Bio is pregnant?
I know, I had to look at it again.
And then Legally Yours with your host John Fuller answering your legal questions.
And have all of your health questions answered by Dr. Riyad Fakhouri on the Head to Toe Care Show.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live.
It took 25 years for the market to come back after the 1929 crash. How long will it take this time? Will losses destroy your retirement income? Fran, Phillip, and Tony will shed light on safe money strategies here at 10 a.m. Sundays on Common Sense Retirement Planning. You can phone a Common Sense Retirement Planning financial professional for a complimentary consultation at 855-770-7926. Join us here at 10 a.m. Sundays on WOCA.
Don't shed no tears. No woman, no cry. Said I remember when we used to sit in the government yard entrenched.
All right, so we decided that Tony Gonzalez should, in fact, come back. We also decided Dwight Howard will be over 20 points and 12 rebounds today. We decided that Coach Tim Ryan should probably get paid and go somewhere and coach in the 4-year school for his sake, not for ours.
4-year school? I was talking about the NBA, buddy.
No, I don't think so. Then
all right, way to doubt our boy like that.
No, that's a whole different situation. NBA and college basketball are as different as Russia and New England.
Remember, Buddy Martin was in the group that thought Billy Donovan had made a mistake when he went for 15 hours to Orlando, and Buddy was right.
We'll see. Maybe he should have gone. Might have won the NBA title, but anyway.
Well, he'd had Dwight Howard.
Yeah, right. Exactly. And it might have been a good day for Dwight Howard. Who knows?
He could have kept him, yeah.
Yeah. And then we also believe that the NCAA will take a payday, even though it won't be a title sponsor game for the national championship. That's our thoughts. The final question today is now Florida Gators playing Friday against the winner of LSU, who's Alabama? Who plays out of LSU? Anyway, 1 o'clock on Friday. They seem to have this pattern of hesitancy and turnovers and lack of composure and poor shots and guys disappearing on the road in games that they should have won. Billy Donovan's a terrific coach. He's had these swan songs from his teams in late February before. Most people say it's not critical to win the conference championship, but the question becomes, if Florida wins 2 games or wins the championship, will they be a 2 seed? And is it important for Florida to make a strong showing, and by that I mean winning the SEC, to get the proper seeding for the NCAA? I'll start with JJ.
I definitely think they have to win. I don't think they're going to win, though. I'm trying to see who they're going to play.
I'm trying to look it up.
Florida
right now.
plays winner of Game 3, so that is the winner of Georgia versus LSU.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to roll those people.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to maybe Kentucky or Missouri, even Ole Miss, Alabama can play a little bit. Arkansas already beat them. I don't think they're going to win the tournament. I don't think Florida's good. I think they've taken a huge step back since earlier in the season, January-ish, when we thought, this might be the best team in the nation. Every week they lose at least one game. Mm-hmm. I think they're a fake.
So you're not a believer. You're a hater, right?
I think they might make it to the Sweet 16.
Okay. Which one of you Toms want to go next?
I think after watching the University of Florida this year play a few times at 24-6, 14-4 overall, I think they started believing their own press and that the SEC was going to be a walkthrough, and just took games off and didn't play well. I think that Billy Donovan being remember, this isn't a average coach. This isn't a good coach. This is an elite coach. So I think he'll get the guys ready to play, and I see them. They may not win the SEC championship. They'll make it to the finals, I believe, of the SEC championship. And I see them in the Elite 8 at least.
Right. Tom James, how far do they go? Have they lost their mojo? Can they get it back in the SEC?
Elite coach is for sure. I thought this team was a national title contender back around the turn of the year. Usually want to be playing your best basketball February or March, not December or January, which unfortunately for the Gators is what I've sort of seen from them offensively. They've become more and more challenged as the year has gone on. Defensively, they're locked down. I watched them win the SEC title from row 4 the other the other night. But offensively, there's an issue there, and I'm not quite sure what it is. But it's somebody to step up and really be the scorer. I'm not sure who that is.
You had to put row 4 in there, didn't you?
Had to put row 4 in there. You know.
And here's my thought. I think this team could go south even further. If they don't get their guard play fixed, something's going to happen. I don't think they can rely on the 3 guys they got there anymore to carry them. They don't know who their shot maker is going to be, who gets the ball at the end. I think this team, if it doesn't get it fixed in the SEC, maybe not a one and done, but a 2 and done at very least in the SEC. They got to find themselves in Atlanta. They got to get this fixed, or the whole season goes down the drain. That's what I think. Hate to be a pessimist, but that's what I think. We'll find out. All right. I want to thank our guests today, including the mayor, Kent Gwynn, who joined us earlier on, Angie Lewis, and her Good Neighbor Award to a terrific lady named Chrissy Lovell. Of course, Dave Pingalore, we heard from him. He'll have his report tonight.